We'll return after these messages.
Guess who's in town a little early this year with his cream eggs from Cadbury? They've got a shell of pure, thick Cadbury's Dairy Milk chocolate and a sweet, creamy yellow yolk surrounded by delicious white filling. They're here now, and they'll make you feel as if spring is just around the corner. But when Easter's gone, so are Cadbury's cream eggs.
The Legoland King's Castle. You can build this castle and play with it for days, but you've only started. The box shows other ways to build these mighty castles, where knights and horses stand, or joust around to have some fun or march across the land. Each day there's adventure, always something new, and the team that dreams tomorrow up is Legoland in you. There are 6 more castle sets you can collect, each sold separately. King's Castle is part of the Legoland Castle Collection and has hundreds of bricks for building. From Lego Systems.
Why are alphabets fun to eat? Because you can eat the fun.
C is for cow. There's a cow in my alphabet. How does it taste? B is for bus. There's a bus in my alphabet. How does it taste?
Post-alphabet cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast. You can eat the fun.
The best and we ever ate. Hear anything? Negative.
Sunkist searches and searches for fun fruit trees. The only tree is funny enough to grow sun-kissed fun fruits. Every chewy one is real fruity fun. And now we've discovered new sun-kissed fun fruits, Cream Supremes. They're covered with yogurt and filled with fun. New sun-kissed fun fruits, Cream Supremes.
Michael, lunch in 5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Time to catch your lunch, Michael.
Space Dogs, 11 o'clock. Look out, flying fries.
Got him.
Michael, the ring fighters.
No problem. The Galactic Battle Burger.
Michael?
Well done, Heinz.
We'll return after these messages.
I just love playing with my toy train.
Surprise! Surprise!
Oh, the McDonald's Chicken McNugget Happy Meal, guys.
With regular fries
And regular soft drink.
You guys are always on the right track.
All aboard!
When you buy McDonald's Little Engineers Happy Meal, you get one of 5 different train engines that all hook together.
Where to, ma'am? McDonald's?
McDonald's Little Engineers Happy Meal. You can collect all 5.
I like new Giggles cookies because they've got 2 kinds of cream inside. He likes Giggles' funny faces. There's fudge and vanilla cream in each one. I can't believe how good this is.
New Giggles cookies. 2 kinds of cream in each funny face.
Are you gonna eat that?
Pound Puppy's newborns need special loving care, especially on Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Cuddle.
Pound Puppy's newborns, each sold separately. And now you can get a free outfit when you buy a Pound Puppy's newborn. Look for specially marked packages. Offer good while supplies last.
Look at all the Valentines you got, Cuddle. Someone must really love you. Pound Puppy, you're my newborn baby puppy love.
Pound Puppy's newborns from Tonka. There's something strange in the neighborhood.
So who's gonna call?
Ghostbusters! Looks horrid. We're cool. We got ghost zap. Let's find those ghosts.
The battery's not included.
Yeah! I'm no ghost, but he is. I'll project one too. Over here. We're being watched. Fire ghost zappers. Charge the high frequency. We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Ghost Zapper Ghost Projector Guns, each sold separately. Ghostbusters, new from Kenner.
And now these messages.
Milk it does.
Milk does body.
Milk it does a body good.
Pass it on.
Check it out.
It's so cool for hanging out.
It helps you grow up big and tall.
It's good for teeth.
And that's not all.
It does. Hey, Mr. Moo, what do you say?
Fresh moo juice makes my day.
Milk. It does the body good.
Pass it on.
Milk, it does.
Milk, it does a body.
Look, it does a body good.
Pass it on. Pass it on.
My Super Golden Crisp cereal is the life of this nutritious breakfast. Can't believe there's 8 vitamins hiding in that sweet, crispy wheat. Well, Frankie the Finn and my old pal Sharky. What's up, fellas?
Your time, Sugar Bear. We're cruising for a crunch.
How about a vitamin-packed punch?
Let's get it.
Last flight to the coast. Thanks for the lift, boys. I can't get enough of Super Golden Crisp. It's got crunch with punch.
I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, please, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People, in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls. I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops. Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know. This channel is harsh reality. Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen. This is Jonathan Lee Richards. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't, no, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl that likes going.
That is the best shit fucking
shopping for dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the people.
Shout out to Cherry for just being easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. Woo! What is happening, people? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, folks. Oh, like it's not even my birthday. Oh my goodness, dude. Listen, okay. So what I got going on today is a special treat. And listen, me and this dude, we got a little history. We don't like each other. There's no doubt about that. But listen, I want to be very clear about something. I will extend him the amount of respect deserved for at the very least, having the testicular fortitude, the cajones to come up here and talk to me about a case that we absolutely, totally disagree on. Because anybody else who I talk about, and I don't talk about him much, honestly, but anybody else who I talk about as far as what their opinions are on a case, if they absolutely, I usually challenge them. If I review them, I challenge them to come up here, and nobody ever has the stones to do it. So there's some respect here for B Tim for doing this, and he is backstage. Now Queen B is streaming this. If you guys don't know this guy, his name's B Tim. And I think he has a channel. I don't know if he has a channel. But I know that he panels a lot with Queen B, someone else who her and I we've never really seen eye to eye at all. And he panels with her quite a bit. And they dabble in a different type of content that we try to do here. Now I have listened to some things that B Tim has said as far as his opinions on this case. I have listened to those, and we fundamentally disagree. Now, I want to be very clear about something. This is not. I know I labeled this a debate only because, like, it's probably. I mean, chances are it's going to end up happening. But since we disagree on this case, very, very, like I said, fundamentally disagree. We absolutely disagree. This case means a lot to me. This case is very, very. I normally only cover cases a lot. One particular case a lot if I'm passionate about that case. And this case, I've become very passionate about. And a lot of it, most of the reason why I'm passionate about this case is how much it's affected the people locally in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And those of you who watch the channel a lot, you guys know how I feel about it and what we've talked about and we've watched in real time these things unfold and covered them pretty thoroughly. So I want to be very clear about something. To me, this is not about a pissing contest with B. Tim. This is, I mean, who knows what'll happen, but this is not about that. For me, this is about using my platform to try to control to some degree misinformation being spread on something that I feel very passionate about. So this isn't about a contest to see who knows more about the case or anything of that nature. This is more about discussing what we disagree on, and why. And if something is false, I will, I will show receipts on something that I disagree with, and if I say something false, he'll show or tell me or reference something that is a slight disadvantage that he does have, but I am perfectly willing to indulge him if he references a court document or anything of that nature. I did send him through Queen Bee. I sent him the link to Sleuthy Goosey's spreadsheet with all of the documents and statements from so-called witnesses in this case. So he's free to reference them. I'll probably reference them myself. Again, this is not a test to see who knows more or anything of that nature. The idea here is for two very disagreeing people to basically kind of chisel off the fat and control the narrative of misinformation that's being spread on this case. So that's my intention. But without any further ado, he's been waiting patiently backstage for quite a while. B. Tim.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing, buddy?
So, what's up? So what do you want to get into? You want to get into like talking about what you believe is the case? What do you believe?
How you feeling though? Are you comfortable? You got something to drink, some coffee or water or anything like that? Everything?
I'm fine.
Okay, good.
So I guess the concept is maybe you can give me your position. We both our positions on the subject. So what's your position?
My position is that I believe Karen Read to be innocent. But overall, my overall position is that if this were to go to trial, which I don't believe that it will, but if it were to go to trial, I don't think there is any jury on the planet that would ever convict Karen Read based on how this investigation was conducted. So yes, Sleuthy, I did send him the spreadsheet. He has it. You have it, right?
Yeah, I do. Continue.
No, that's it. I mean, that's it. And Turtle Boy is in jail because he's being railroaded in silence.
Well, do you want to debate about one case or two cases? Because I thought we were talking about Karen Read. If you want to,
they're connected.
I don't see them connected. I think they're two separate cases.
Well, that's why you're here, so we can discuss that, and I can explain how they're connected.
You can believe Karen Read's innocent and believe Turtle Boy's guilty, in your opinion. They're two separate cases. Yeah.
Sure you can.
So why are you combining the two?
Okay, we're getting into semantics here. I'm explaining because I can actually show you why Turtle Boy's case is absolutely connected to the Karen Read case. I mean, how could you say that they're not in the latest developments where it was Ken Mello, the special prosecutor assigned to Turtle Boy, not Karen Read, who managed to seize Karen Read's phones?
Yeah, because there's investigation.
So they're not connected?
Their investigation if there's collusion.
Okay.
So let's talk about Karen Read's case because that's a pretext was sent.
So if there's investigation that there's collusion, you would have to logically agree that they are connected, yes or no?
No, they're collusion on whether witness intimidation is going on. That's a separate charge for murder.
Which may witness intimidation for what case then?
For her case, for a murder case, but it's separate.
The Karen Read case, right?
I don't think Turtle Boy had
connected.
I don't think Turtle Boy had anything to do with the murder of John O'Keefe.
Of course, so nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. We're talking about the prosecution. We're talking about the investigation and the investigators that are involved in both cases. We're talking about the same district attorney that are involved in both cases.
How
They are connected.
I mean,
They're absolutely connected.
Are we going to get into the Karen Reed discussion? Or are we going to just?
We are.
Well, we're not really, because we're talking about what the evidence.
You said they weren't connected, and I just explained how they were.
Well, that's your opinion, but I don't believe that. So we can disagree.
It's not a matter of opinion. If the special prosecutor who's assigned to the Turtle Boy case is seizing Karen Reed's phones because she believes that they are colluding in order to intimidate witnesses, then the cases are absolutely connected by those two things.
They're separate charges.
Of course they're separate charges. We know they're separate charges.
So they're not.
Karen Reed has separate charges in the same case.
Of course. But anyway, my positions. Let's go move on to the Karen Reed thing, because that was what we were here to discuss.
Sure.
Thank you.
Why do you think that she is guilty?
I think she's guilty based upon the evidence. I think she's guilty based upon the Green report. I think she's guilty based upon the fact that there was glass fiber found on the back of the bumper. I believe she's guilty because there's microscopic plastic that was found on his cloth. I believe she's guilty based upon the Waze that basically disproves the Apple Health data that actually with the Green report. I believe she's guilty based upon.
What exactly disproves the Apple Health data?
Well, according to Waze, according to the Waze, it says that she, according to Waze, they basically at 12:20 from Dedham Street, they arrived at 34 Fairview at 12:24, and it's a mile and a half. Meanwhile, if you look at the Apple data, it says 12:21 to 12:21:14 to 12:24:37 that they ascended and descended flights. That's not possible if they're punching into Waze at Dedham at 12:20.
Okay. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, sure. And that's at the Green report. I got it from Yellow Cap and Tails. He basically went through the report and the Waze.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
I mean, basically, he was in the car at the time, so most likely he was going slow enough that it was like not that fast, and it was recording as like a walking thing. That's one of the reasons why I believe that.
Okay.
That's all. Mm-hmm. Are you going to explain about the microscopic plastic on his clothes as well?
Well, yeah.
Okay. How did that happen?
Who knows? It's a question of well,
you're not going to
chain of custody of evidence. So I mean, when the victim's clothes are just laid out on the floor in the emergency room where they're trying to revive him, anything could have happened.
Do you believe Proctor went into the emergency room and sprinkled microscopic plastic on his clothes?
I'm saying who knows. I'm saying that if I were a defense attorney, if a defense attorney were to explain this to me and I were sitting on a jury, then I would say that would create doubt, because if the chain of custody is mishandled, if the evidence is mishandled, which it clearly was, then anything could have happened to that evidence.
Can you explain how was chain of custody mishandled?
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't bagged. It was just thrown on the floor. There are items of his clothing that are missing. So when you look at the photograph, the still of the footage inside the bar at the Waterfall Grill, you can see that he's wearing a belt. One of his shoes is missing. His shoe was
recovered. His shoe and hat was recovered at the scene with a black straw and broken glass on the side at the scene.
Oh, the belt and hoodie. Excuse me, the belt and hoodie.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the belt. I know that the hat and the other shoe fell off because he was hit by the car. That's a common thing with being hit by a car. And why would a black straw be placed there as well at the scene? There was a black straw, a broken cocktail glass, a hat, and one of his shoes was missing, found by another officer at the scene. A couple of days, I think, a couple hours later, I think.
Right. So why wasn't the scene secured immediately?
Well, first they were investigating if it was an accident, and then they basically it was death, and they went to the investigation. What's the problem? It was secured.
Well, no,
I think another team wasn't the evidence collected by a special, team. I think they collected the evidence. A CERT team.
that didn't show up until the next day.
It says located the morning. The Massachusetts Special Emergency Response Team CERT also found pieces of plastic, 2 red and 1 clear, in the same facility at the body. Items consistent with the broken tail light on Reed's Lexus. The document noted that officials seized the car and found that it had a broken glass embedded in the rear bumper, a deep scratch and a dent on the right side of the rear tailgate, and 2 scratches plus some chips paint on the right side of the rear bumper. And it was the CERT team. The emergency response team. I mean, Massachusetts Special Emergency Response Team. And that's what I'm just saying. There's other. I mean, like, you have to think about it too. Like, there's other things.
Actually, his hat was recovered on February 3rd, which is 5 days after the morning of the incident.
Okay.
So
let me write that down.
February 3rd.
Thank you. No, thank you. I'm writing down February 3rd.
And it was when they went to interview Nicole Albert.
So it was still recovered at the scene.
Right.
Okay.
But why wasn't it recovered the day of?
Because it snowed.
You don't think
you have to wait for snow to melt?
That's how you preserve and investigate a crime scene, is you just wait for snow to melt?
Well, you don't see everything. Do you think they have like a flamethrower to melt all the snow in the backyard? I mean,
no,
like,
actually they used a snowblower. You think that's standard for an investigation?
I mean, they looked for it and they found it. What are you talking about? Eventually, have to wait for snow to smelt. Yeah,
5 days later.
How about the black straw and the other shoe being missing? That's consistent with being. So
you don't find this to be? Oh, hold on a second, because my issue now.
Okay, go for it.
My issue is how the investigation was conducted. Okay.
Okay. You believe chain of custody was broken. That's what your basis of your opinion is.
I'm not saying that I never said that it was broken. I said that the evidence was mishandled.
And how was it mishandled?
Because items of his clothing weren't recovered until 5 days after the actual incident. So that makes me question the integrity of the investigation altogether. That's just a drop in the bucket of the things that make me question the integrity of the investigation.
I don't want to, I'm asking this question so you can deny what my question is. Do you believe that officers came and grabbed his clothes, embedded plastic, and then other pieces of clothes and went back to the scene and buried it in the snow?
I'm saying if I were a juror and a defense attorney presented that and explained to me that it wasn't recovered until 5 days later, then I would have to doubt that it was recovered in a timely fashion. I would have to doubt. I would have to say that there could have been anything. There's 5 days for for these pieces of evidence to be tainted in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, the black straw, the broken cocktail glass, the shoe, the phone, all there.
Right. The all recovered late, all recovered way later.
Yeah, it's called investigation.
Why would Michael Proctor not log 5 different searches?
Because
5 different searches. Hold on. Why would Michael Proctor? No, Michael Proctor found these pieces of taillight, some 32 pieces or 34 pieces of taillight. He found them on 5 separate occasions and undocumented searches.
They found more pieces when the snow melted.
What
other officers?
So is that standard? Do you think that that's standard? That
are you a cop?
To investigate? No, but I follow enough cases.
I'm not a cop.
I follow enough cases to where.
How many years have you been following cases?
At least 5.
Okay, so when you do 20 years, come to me.
So you explain to me. Reference any other case where the police waited for snow to melt in investigating the death of a Boston police officer or any police officer anywhere. You explain to me.
Can you reference a case?
No.
Why are you asking me to reference a case like that?
Because you're acting like it's standard operating procedure.
You don't know what what is standard operation procedure for an investigation like this? Tell me.
Well, I mean, I would have to have a police officer up here to
thank you. So why are you sitting here saying you don't understand, like this is not standard operation procedure when you don't know?
Because it's fucking plain and simple.
But you don't know.
There's no investigation where that has ever happened.
If you're for truth and truth, if you want truth, why don't you invite a Boston police officer a retired one to do an interview and discuss.
Doesn't
what
have
the
to be a
procedure-
Boston. Doesn't have to be a Boston police officer.
I
but
think that would be
explain
very
to me-
educational to people if you invite in a police officer to talk about
Sure.
procedures.
No, I
broken.
actually have one lined up.
Good.
I actually have one lined up, but not for today.
I mean, don't you think you're spreading misinformation right now by like not having a Boston police officer and talking about they didn't follow the procedures?
Not even in the slightest bit. No, I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm stating the fact.
But you said you didn't know, but you kept on
that
stating
it took 5 days to
But you don't
recover
know.
evidence from a scene. Why wasn't the scene checked?
But you don't know the procedure.
Why wasn't the scene checked?
You don't know the procedure.
I've heard police officers. I've heard
Okay.
Jennifer Coffendorfer herself.
Okay.
Jennifer Coffendorfer herself say that
The person
mistakes were made.
that agrees with me. The person that
That's
agrees with me that's
right.
not okay.
Right. Let me finish, please.
Sure. Sorry about that.
So Jennifer Coffendorfer herself has said that mistakes were made in collecting evidence, such as the red Solo cups from a neighbor to collect blood samples from a scene. That doesn't happen. That's why you have forensic teams, okay, to collect blood samples and preserve the blood samples properly. This is not done by red Solo cups from a neighbor, okay? Secondly, you do not take a snowblower to blow away the snow, or not even a snowblower, a leaf blower to blow away the snow away from a crime scene, away from evidence. You also tape off the area the day of, which was not done until the next day.
Okay. So how does that go to
Well, I don't need to be a cop to know that that's standard procedure.
I mean, how do you
I just
know?
need to have common sense.
Well, common sense is not common, sir. So let's continue.
Fairly.
Yeah, it's not. But you haven't explained how the microscopic pieces of the taillight got on his
I'm not
shirt.
supposed to explain that. The prosecution.
Aren't you spreading misinformation if you don't?
Not at all.
Why hasn't the defense done that?
The defense it's not their job.
The defense, it's not their job to prove how what got on his clothes.
No, it is exactly not their job to do, because the burden of proof is on the prosecution.
Yeah, that's true. Burden of proof is on the prosecution, but they're making this theory that
you
he was beat up.
So you explain to me how the microscopic pieces got.
He got hit by a car.
How exactly? How
he got hit by a car.
Explain to me exactly how those microscopic pieces would actually end
up.
Well,
when it broke, when the taillight broke, it got
what part of his body?
Shirt.
What part of his body?
Shirt. I mean, I'm not. That's what it said on his shirt.
What bone is dense enough to break that taillight in order for them to end up on his shirt?
Bone? We're talking about what are
any
you
bone,
talking
right.
about? This is
that's
science.
Your job. That's right. What's the
Not
science?
my job. I don't work for the police department, sir.
What's
Nor
the
defense.
science that would explain to me the science?
Do you
that
know
would
the
explain
science?
How?
Why are you asking a question you don't know?
No, I don't know the science.
Then why would you ask a question like that? That's a ridiculous
all I know
question.
is that if that evidence wasn't preserved properly, those pieces of plastic could have gone on
So
his
you
clothes
think
at any given time. Those pieces of plastic
wait.
had 5 days.
I want to
5
get you
days
down
to end
on
up
this.
on his clothes.
How do you think he did it? Just jump. Do you think Proctor or an officer came there and sprinkled and embedded fucking plastic onto his club shirt? State it.
I don't know how it ended up there. But I know that I know that I believe that
I told you how
that John O'Keefe was in that house.
Okay,
so
let's jump to there. I'll jump to there. Okay, we'll jump to that point. Sure. There's another point of contention. You bring up the fact that he went into the house, but the GPS data doesn't show that he went into the house.
It doesn't matter that the GPS data.
What do you mean the GPS data doesn't matter? It's an essential piece of evidence.
Okay, so the way the GPS data works, it does not pinpoint one particular location. It pinpoints basically that's how it works.
You're wrong, because GPS has usually, it depends on the signal, and at that time the signal was like weak, and then it got stronger and stronger, and it went down to a radius of 72 feet that only meets up to the door. And he never moved. He never moved around in the house at that time.
So explain how he went up.
Explain
how he went up 3 flights of stairs then.
The problem with that theory is because he was in the car. The ways to say basically said at 12.
Wow, I'd love an SUV with a fucking staircase.
It's not a staircase, sir. It's how they basically presented it. He was in the car because it was impossible for him to go 3 flights of stairs. If the Waze GPS says at 12:20, he was actually looking for the address at Dedham. Okay, it's impossible. So because it takes you 3 minutes to get there. So the time he got there was 12:24 and 24 seconds.
Okay, so do you have an exact time in which he was struck?
I mean, the only thing I can think about, because this one is like a little bit of a theory.
How
to
is this timeline proof that she hit him with the car and that he didn't go up the stairs if you don't have an exact time for when he was struck?
I have a question for you. If we're basing your analysis on the Apple data, why doesn't it show him being taken out of the house and put there at a later time?
Because it's a general vicinity right there.
Wait, whoa.
It's a general vicinity.
You can't pick and choose evidence, sir.
That's how it works.
You can't
pick and choose evidence, sir. No. That's how the data works.
If we look at the Apple data, right? We look at the Apple data timeline, right? Does it show that he was put out there anytime after the last pink at 12? Let me see. The Apple data. Let me see. I gotta look to it. Apple Health data. Does it show that he is? Let me see. Sorry for that. Let me give me a moment.
No, please take your time.
No problem. If we look at the Apple data, what's the last time he moves before when they discover him? Which is 12/32/16, right? That's the last time he actually moved. Like that Apple data shows that he's moved, right? And then before the 6 o'clock in the morning when they found him. So why does it show that he's been taken from the house, right? If you think he went down the basement, right? He went in the house, down the basement. You think Cullen and Brian beat him up with the dog, and then they left him there.
Let me be very clear about something. I do not pretend to know what happened inside that home. I know that people have pretty solid fixated theories as to what happened inside that home. I do not have one.
Okay.
I have always stood on the position that I don't know what happened in that house, but I firmly believe that he was inside that house.
Okay, so he got in the house and somehow he got injured. Can we agree on that? That's what you believe?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. He walked down the stairs. Do you agree? Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I believe in the Apple Health data. Sure.
Okay. So why doesn't it show that he is moved again from 12:35? I got to look at the time again because my memory's not that great. 12:35. I think that is right. That 12:35. Why doesn't it not show that he was moved again and placed outside?
Because it's never been established who had the phone.
Well, the phone would have to move because it was under him.
Yeah, but who knows who put the phone there?
But it would still have to move. It would still have to move from the house to be under him, so it would record the Apple data.
Not if it was turned off.
So you think they turned it off after they beat him up and put it back on under him? But why was it on when he was under him?
I'm exploring possibilities. This is my point. This is my position. I want you to understand something. Sure. My position is that if I'm a juror, I have to, and I always look at cases in the perspective of if I'm a juror.
Okay.
I have way too much doubt. If a defense attorney explains to me the same things and asks the questions that I'm asking you, as far as I'm concerned, sure, I'm going to say, well, I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But why? I have no explanation for that.
Don't you?
There's no explanation.
Do you think he was moved? Another point. I'm a little confused.
So that means that means that I have doubt.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take that. But let me ask you another question. We go with the snowplow guy, right? He says he never saw anyone. He saw a car parked in front of the last location where John O'Keefe was, right? Didn't see anyone there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was that? 2:15, 2:30? I'm trying to think. What was it? 2:15?
Explain the Ford Edge that he saw there and parked there.
Well, my question, he would have to go around it. How come it's not pushing snow around it? But that's a little story, a little weird. But if he was, that means you're saying that, do you believe that he was moved after that guy passed there?
I believe that he was put outside of the house. He was carried and put outside of the house.
Was he put outside after at 2:30? That's what I'm asking you. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So you believe that. Then why did Miss Nagel state that stated that she saw someone in that? She said Miss Nagel indicated that she thought she saw something she described as a dark object in the snow by the flagpole, but could not determine what it was. And it was 1:30 to 2 a.m.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad I did bring that up. I want to have the truth.
I'm glad you brought that up because then you have hold on, let me find it.
You have her husband who states that he drove by and he didn't see anyone next door. I know you're talking about. I absolutely know.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about her brother's statement, which I'm trying to find because I'd prefer to read it.
Sure, I'll wait for it. Thank you.
I'd prefer to read it, but there's a lot.
I'll wait. I mean, I'll wait.
Give me 1 second here.
But how do you explain her seeing something, alleging that she saw something? Do you think she's part of the conspiracy, or do you think she just missaw something?
I don't know. That I don't know, because her brother's statement absolutely contradicts this. And I'll try to get to the meat and potatoes of the statement here. So
sure, I'll take your time, man. No problem.
I've got it pulled up, so it won't take me long.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
And if you could tell me which statement you're pulling up so I can pull it up myself.
I'm pulling up the here. What I'll do is hold on. Oh no, hold on. Give me 1 second here. Refresh that and give me 1 second here. Let me
Sure.
Here we go. I'm sharing the link with you directly to that statement in the private chat, so you can pull that right up.
Let me see. All right, let me see now. Okay. Give me 1 moment.
Yeah, you're good. So I'm going to start at number 3 when you pull that up.
I already pulled it up. I'm reading right now.
Okay, so Ryan confirmed that he was contacted by Julie, his sister, requesting a ride home. At the time, Ryan was with his friend Richie D'Antuno, who was driving his gray in-color Ford F-150 pickup truck with Ryan seated in the front passenger seat and Ryan's girlfriend, Heather Maxon, seated in the back passenger compartment. Ryan recalls Richie driving down Cedar Crest Road from the direction of the Kennedy Elementary School. As the F-150 approached Fairview, Ryan remembers seeing a set of headlights of a mid-sized black SUV coming from the opposite direction of Cedar Crest, which obviously would be Karen Reed's SUV.
Yeah, agreed.
Subsequently, Richie yielded to the vehicle, allowing it to make the right-hand turn onto Fairview as their F-150 then followed, making a left-hand turn onto Fairview. Ryan told us that Richie stopped the F-150 directly in front of the driveway belonging to 34 Fairview and remembers the black SUV stopping along the right-hand curb towards the left side of the property as you look at the house from the street. This is very specific here.
Yeah, sure.
You got to admit, it's a very detailed statement, and it gets more detailed, which is why I find this very credible. When asked, Ryan stated he did not observe any erratic operation by the SUV as it turned from Cedar Crest onto Fairview or at any point while in his presence. Ryan went on to say that their F-150 remained in front of the home for a period of time that was no longer than 5 minutes, at which time his sister Julie came out of the home and asked if the three of them would like to come inside. Ryan refused the invite, and Julie stated that she wanted to stay a while longer and would most likely spend the night at 34 Fairview. Upon conclusion, this is where it gets important. Upon conclusion of their conversation, Julie returned back inside the home, and Ryan noticed that the SUV pulled up a few feet to the far edge of the property line between 34 and the neighboring property where the flagpole was located along with some bushes. Ryan stated that the SUV's driver did not appear to place the vehicle into park as the rear brake lights were illuminated. Okay, this is important.
Yeah.
The rear brake lights were illuminated to include the third top center light at the initial positioning and after it had pulled up. Trooper Proctor asked Ryan if at any point he heard screams, yelling, or any noise coming from the black SUV while he was on Fairview, to which he stated no. Ryan added that as Richie pulled away, because he wasn't driving, so he was able to focus. He was sitting in the passenger seat, and he was sitting parallel, like he was the closest to the SUV.
Yes. Okay.
In the vehicle. So he had no obstruction of vision here. Okay.
Sure.
So he stated no. Ryan added that as Richie pulled away from 34 Fairview, their F-150 drove past the black SUV, at which time Ryan observed the interior light on and a Caucasian female operator seated inside the vehicle holding the steering wheel at the 10 and 2 looking straight ahead of her.
What time is this? Because this would be right when they arrive, right?
This would be when he arrived at the same time as
so you were stating like from let's say 5 minutes.
He would have arrived pretty much at the same time that Karen did.
So probably like 12 let me see from the Green Report, probably like 24 seconds. So 5 minutes from that, or 3 minutes?
I'm just trying to see on the document if there's an exact time.
It's not. They don't show an exact time.
They don't.
It's not that detailed, is it?
Well, no. That's
kind of important. If the guy,
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm saying that's for the investigator to ask. Is it not? That's on the investigator, right?
That's kind of important for the defense too.
It's important for the prosecution
too, for sure. I mean, like, but my thought process is that she hit him probably around 12:35 to 12:35 or 2.
Well, this is a moot point because
not really.
I'll explain. Let me continue reading.
Go for it. Go for it.
So, at which time Ryan observed the interior light on and a Caucasian female operator seated inside the vehicle holding the steering wheel at a 10 and 2 looking straight ahead of her. Ryan told us that he did not see anyone else inside the passenger compartment during his brief observations of the SUV as they drove by it. Ryan did not see the SUV leave and did not note any damage to the vehicle as he remembers. This is extremely important.
Yes.
So
but my thought process
when Ryan stated that it had just started snowing approximately half an hour prior to there was a coating of snow on the ground while present in the area of Cedar Crest and Fairview. So here's my point.
Okay, go for it.
My point of this is if Ryan Nagel pulled up from behind in the F-150 to Karen Reed's car and did not see any damage to any of to the vehicle at all, including her lights. No damage, no damage. All of the lights were illuminated, right? So all of her lights were illuminated, and he drives past and sees that she's alone in the vehicle. So if he's alone in if she's alone in the vehicle, and there's no damage to the back of the SUV, she had to have already hit him. But if she broke her taillight hitting him, why was there no damage to the taillight?
Because she didn't hit him at that point.
So
she hit him. Wait.
The only two places that John O'Keefe could have possibly been would have been inside the vehicle, which Ryan Nagel states that she was not, or lying in the driveway, or lying in the grass, or inside the home.
Or he just passed by and didn't see him, and she didn't hit him yet. She didn't hit him yet. She hit him after the guy passed her. Because the last time.
So why didn't she see him? Why didn't
she pass by? It was really dark. It's a blizzard, and he probably didn't.
It's not a blizzard. He said it just started snowing.
It's just started snowing. And it's dark. What time is it on that time when he passed by? Because that's very important. We're talking about details. What time did he arrive? How long did he stay? A lot of times witnesses will overestimate the time that they're there.
This guy, you're telling me that this guy could see that she had her hands at a 10 and 2 position on the steering wheel. He had all of this detail, could see that there was no damage to the back of the truck, and didn't see a 6-foot man standing with a gray shirt near the vehicle?
Yeah.
You're going to tell me he just didn't see it?
Yeah. It happens all the time. Yeah. Just like how the snowplow guy didn't see him. And also, John, the last time the actual Apple data shows that he moved was, what is it? 12:32:16. So if, let's say he spent, I think he overestimated his time 5 minutes, because I've noticed with a lot of witnesses, like they'll be like, well, the accident happened a minute, or the accident happened in 30, you know what I mean? But it's actually like 20 seconds. So he could have been there a shorter time than 5 minutes. But with my theory is that she probably hit him after the guy left. That's pretty much it. That's my thought process. I think the snowplow guy
So
is
where was he?
The snow on the other side where he couldn't see him.
On the other side where he couldn't see.
I mean, I'm giving you explanations. You just say, I don't know. That's up to someone else.
Couldn't see a 6-foot man standing. I mean, his head would clear the vehicle. He passed right behind. He got right behind her. He was right behind her.
Asymmetrical position. An asymmetrical
He was
position.
directly behind her. He was directly behind her vehicle.
How do you know that?
There's no way he would not have seen somebody standing outside her vehicle.
I mean, that's your thought process. Maybe you missed her. Why is it that there's conflicting witness testimony? Why is it that this guy states that there's a car there?
That's exactly a great point.
That is a great point.
Why is there conflicting witness testimony?
Yeah, your own client. Oh, not a client. Karen Reed's got conflicting testimony. She changed the story 3 times.
No, she has no witnesses.
She is her own witness. She is her own witness. She basically testified originally during the call to Miss McCabe. She initially last remembered seeing the victim at the waterfall, and when informed by Miss McCabe that she had seen the victim and defendant leaving the waterfall. When she was confronted with that, using her nieces, and the niece also said she had conflicting, like where her O'Keefe was. She had a conflicting story with that. And
why would the niece? Why would the niece know where John was?
Because the niece was using the niece's phone in the room. She was listening to like Karen Reed talk.
Right,
she's one of the witnesses.
Why would she know where John was?
No, what happened is that she uses the niece's phone, right? She goes in the room and she calls up Miss McCabe. She tells Miss McCabe she remembers last seeing him in the waterfall.
According to Miss McCabe.
Well, according to also the girl that might testify as well. Well, we'll see.
Have you seen a statement from a minor?
I've seen the statement. I did actually see that there was a statement from her that basically said that her story was inconsistent.
Okay, wait. So
yeah,
you
said
saw,
initials.
You saw a statement from a child in these documents. Could you reference that document to me, please?
Sure. I gotta find it. Give me a moment. Let me see. I'm gonna find
it. Yeah, I chat. I know. I mean, but I want to give him an opportunity to find this document that we all know that the laws prohibit such a document to be public because this child is a minor.
Okay, it says here on page 22.
Could you share the link in the private chat for me, please?
Sure, because they use initials, so I'm assuming that they talk to her here. Give me a moment. Give me a second. I'm sorry for the wait. The Streetmar links. Here you go.
Oh, I got 2 pots of coffee, dude. I got 1 in a thermos. I'm ready to go, homie. We're good.
On February, I think on page 22 of that document, and it says here, let me see. On February 22nd, both the 10-year-old nephew, CF, and the 14-year-old niece, KF, of the victim were interviewed at New Fork Advocates for Children's Center.
Wait. You said page 22?
Yeah, 22.
All right, let me get there real quick. I'm almost there. Oh,
they interviewed him.
What the hell just happened? Okay, hold on.
It says starts at February 22nd on both the 10-year-old nephew and CF.
Okay.
And they use initials because they're children, obviously. They're not going to put their real names on there because when you're under the age of 18. It says, you can read it. I mean, on February 22nd, both the 10-year-old nephew and CF and the 14-year-old niece, KF, of the victim were interviewed in New Fork Advocates for Children's Center in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The children indicated that they had lived with their uncle, the victim, for approximately 8 years following the passing of both of their parents. Both children indicated that the victim and defendant had started dating approximately 2 years ago. After having dated for some time before the distant past, they both indicated that the defendant would stay over their house, Meadow Avenue, several nights a day. PF stated that the defendant and victim argued a decent amount of time. PF recalled a recent argument over groceries and the victim expressing needing a break from the defendant. After this particular argument, the victim wanted the defendant to leave their house. However, she refused. PF indicated that he had left the home on January 20th, approximately 8 p.m. for a sleepover at a friend's house, and was not present at the home overnight. PF indicated that neither he nor his sister had access to the Ring system, but believed the defendant did from the family computer within the home. Because remember, it was deleted, the actual pulling in, and only the front was there.
Sure.
KF indicated that during her interview that the defendant and the victim had argued a lot towards the end, approximately 2 to 3 times a week. She further stated approximately a week prior to January 29th, she was sitting on the stairway inside the house while the victim and defendant were arguing. KF stated that she heard the victim tell the defendant that their relationship had run its course and that it isn't healthy. She stated that the defendant did not want the relationship to end and refused to leave their house. KF stated that she had gone to bed approximately 11 p.m. on January 28th after the friend had left and was awoken by the defendant approximately 4:30 a.m. with the defendant screaming and acting frantic. The defendant ran into the victim's bedroom to retrieve KF's cell phone. KF then began texting and calling the victim with response. The defendant then had KF call Ms. McCabe and put the defendant on the phone with her. After speaking with Ms. McCabe, the defendant left the house and told KF to call Camarino to come and pick up her. KF indicated to her in the interview that the defendant changed her story several times while speaking to Ms. McCabe on the phone, with initially the defendant stating that she and the victim got into an argument and she dropped him off. So, what, she changed her story multiple times, and do you think the nephew's also into the conspiracy too?
No, that's what I'm saying is this doesn't say anything other than they argued a lot.
And they changed the story several times. She said, stating that she and the victim got into an argument and changed her story several times during when she was talking to her. When she was talking to Ms. McCabe. She corroborates what Ms. McCabe says, that she initially lied to Ms. McCabe to try to cover her tracks or she forgot. She was so drunk because she had like a fucking huge blood alcohol level at the time. And then she was reminded,
we know that they argued though. I mean, but I don't understand what this supposedly proves.
That she initially lied to her friend to cover her tracks. That she tried to state that they were at the bar.
You're adding that she lied to cover her tracks.
Or she forgot. Or she forgot.
It says that she changed her story numerous times.
I mean, what do you think of a witness that changes their story multiple times? Do you need to have a memory to have do you need to have a good memory to tell the truth?
What I'm saying,
the answer is no.
You're gonna answer for me now?
That's the answer.
No, it's not. Because what I'm saying here is, how do you know the circumstances in which this is a third party saying this is what this person indicated to me. Someone who indicated to me, somebody who has repeatedly collected evidence in a very questionable way is stating what a child said
that's not Proctor. That's not Proctor collecting the statement, sir.
Well, I mean, it could. I mean, any of the detectives.
It's a child, sir. It's another service for children. It's the New Fork Advocate for Children Center in Fallsburg, Massachusetts. It's not Mr. Proctor collecting the statement.
Who wrote this statement here?
That's the statement that they got. The person who interviewed. A New Fork Advocate for Children Center in Fallsburg, Massachusetts. They're the one that got the statement. And he wrote it down what they copied. Whoever they did. So unless this is what the kids say. The kids said that initially she kept on changing her story. She changed her story.
No. Scroll to the bottom. It says respectfully submitted for the Commonwealth, Michael Morrissey by Adam Lally.
The interview was done by
who?
By the Advocates for Children Center in Foxbury, Massachusetts. They were interviewed by them. So are you saying that they're part of the conspiracy now? The lady changed her story. Then she changed her story again.
It doesn't say that anywhere here.
It says it on the top. It says here on February 22nd, both the 10-year-old nephew and CF and the 14-year-old niece KF of the victim were interviewed at the New Fork Advocate for Children Center in Frostburg, Massachusetts.
By who?
By probably an advocate.
By probably an advocate, or by the TA,
I mean,
by Lally?
So you think they're just
mean,
I mean, you think he's just making this kid's being forced to testify to fake information?
No, I'm saying who the fuck knows who
Oh
talked
my
to
God.
the kid, or if the kid even
Is
talked
this
at
a
all.
debate about facts, man? Because I put a lot of facts, and you keep on
if
saying
you
I don't
can't share
know,
with
I
me-
don't remember.
If you can't share with me a name, if I'm a defense attorney, I'm gonna go, okay, well, who conducted this interview?
Well, that's going
And
to
if
be for trial. I can't give you names of like children advocates. I'm sorry.
So it's not evidence.
It is evidence in the document. It's like it's going to be evidence.
No, it's not. It doesn't prove anything.
Come on.
It doesn't prove anything. No, clearly it doesn't.
Okay.
There's nobody's name signed except Lolly's on there.
That's the first change of story. Then she changes the story that she dropped him off and didn't look at him when he walked in the room because her stomach hurt. And then when she was on Dateline, she changed the story again that she said she saw him go in the house. She changed her story 3 times, sir. 3.
Dude, she was drinking. She's frantic. She's screaming and yelling. She was fighting with him.
Oh my God. Like if this was your client,
that doesn't prove murder.
That proves inconsistency.
How does that prove?
That proves. I mean, like you're sitting here, you're analyzing witness statements and how they're inconsistent with this one and that one. But their own person, Karen Reed, can't keep her story straight.
But that's my point. Is if you're going to prove that she's suspicious because she can't keep her story straight, then why is everyone else's stories inconsistent? Why is everyone else?
3 people. I don't believe that the whole snowplow person, because that story doesn't make any sense. Okay, and they have to look for that guy. Okay, I don't believe.
So
that
when was this interview conducted by the Commonwealth's memorandum? When was this interview conducted?
When was the interview conducted?
Right.
Let me look for the date. It says February 22nd on the thing, on the first line.
Okay.
Why are you asking me silly questions?
It's not a silly question.
It's on the first line.
It's absolutely valid. So why February 22nd? You're going to tell me that a child on February 22nd is going to have this vivid memory.
Oh my God.
And you're going to tell me that this child had no contact with anyone, with no officers. We don't know in what kind of questions this child was asked and what manner the child was asked these questions.
Oh my God.
I mean, we have no idea.
So the cops planted the plastic.
I'm saying we don't know. If the cops
they're telling the children what to do.
If they had bagged the evidence properly in the first place and collected it in a timely manner, I wouldn't be
can't
asking
get her
the
story
question.
straight. She can't get her story straight. And
I wouldn't be asking the question. I wouldn't be asking the question if the police had actually conducted their investigation in a standard way, which is collecting evidence with gloves, putting it in a bag,
that's your
and not leaving it on the floor with items unaccounted for.
I'm sure. Okay.
So explain to me how that's proof.
What's proof? What's your question?
If the suspicion is that that the DA has greenlit an investigation that was conducted nefariously or negligently, right? If the DA greenlit this investigation to take place this way, then it is on the DA to prove whether or not Karen Reed is actually guilty.
They go into trial. That's the whole point of the trial, to prove she's guilty.
But what I'm saying is how can they go to a jury with
what?
Clothing,
with evidence?
with evidence that was collected in questionable manners, where that evidence could have easily been tainted within 5 days. 5 days.
Wait.
Could have been tainted.
Wait a minute.
Pictures of his clothing. Pictures of his clothing laying on the floor.
Wait a minute.
Pictures of his clothing laying on the floor.
I mean, are you saying that they're basically like that? How about the glass embedded in the bumper? The cocktail glass embedded in the bumper. Is that also part of the conspiracy that they just smashed that in?
Give me 1 second here.
I need to know. I mean, it says here the black SUV was seized from the driveway of the defendant's parents here in Digton. On January 29th, the vehicle was then transported via tow to the Canton Police Department on February 1st. Members of the Massachusetts State Police Crime Scene Service Section, a crime lab chemist, a trooper Joseph Paul of the Massachusetts State Police Collision Analysis and Reconstruction Section, CARS, responded to the department. They observed fragments of broken glass on the rear bumper of the vehicle. The rear right passenger side taillight was shattered, and pieces were observed missing from the red and clear areas. On the right side of the rear taillight, a deep scratch and minor dent were observed. On the right side of the rear bumper, above a small red light, 2 scratches were observed, as well as one area where the paint was chipped off. Troopers from the CARS unit performed a rapid acceleration forward and reverse test with the vehicle and noted no deficiencies with the vehicle braking system or other operations. The trooper placed a training figure resembling a human approximately 6 feet in height and behind the Lexus. The vehicle was operated by CARS. I mean, are you stating that there is like they busted the glass, like CARS is also part of the conspiracy, that they, embedded cocktail glass in the background and human hair on the back that they're still waiting to be announced?
Sure.
Oh my God.
Why not?
Is this a debate? I mean, is there any point? Like, you're not even like, this is evidence.
Hold on. I'm looking for, explain to me why the tow truck driver says that there was no damage to the vehicle when he took it off the property or when he took it off of Karen Reed's property.
All right. Show me the document.
Explain to me that.
Show me the document.
I'm looking for the recording.
Thank you.
I'm looking for, there's a recorded phone call of this.
A phone call. Is it a document or a phone call? Who collected this phone call?
It's a recorded phone call.
Who collected the phone call?
Hold on.
I'm going to play your games. Who collected the phone call? Maybe it's a conspiracy. I mean, like, come on.
Could be. But
God.
what I'm saying is the fact that the phone call exists creates doubt. Right? Does it not?
I gotta listen to the phone call to see if I have doubts, sir.
Well, I gotta find it. It's in a long
I didn't see this phone call in Sleuthing Goosey. This is a pretty important detail, I like to say.
No, I agree. It's a very important detail.
Very important detail. Because this guy's going to be called as a witness. Absolutely 100%. Because if he's going to sign a memorandum that said he didn't see any damage from the tow truck, he's basically accusing people of breaking it. But even if he did that, that doesn't explain it to be even in the scene. How did that glass come from the house of Karen Reed to the location before he even, when he was taken already? Why was the same glass embedded, the same plastic stuff embedded in his? I mean, and your only conclusion is basically, well, they just eventually just took it and planted it later. Well, that's and you have no basis of fact to connect that. You have no evidence to connect that. This is pure speculation. This is pure theories. This is just not even theories. This is speculation at this point.
Right.
I couldn't even say hypothesis at this point.
The defense has the luxury of speculation.
Do you?
Hey, policeman, what are they going to do? Arrest you after they tell you? You take it. You're getting paid, right?
Yeah, I towed it right to the police station, though. I didn't tow it to my shop or nothing.
No.
Went from that house right to Canton, and they were with me the whole time.
Nice. Wow. But no damage on the car.
There's more to that story than what they're saying, because I don't see how they're saying what, she backed into him or something?
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, but and even if she did, would the window, the back brake mirror break? Probably not.
I didn't see no damage on it.
No, you guys inspect them like rent-a-car companies. You guys.
If there was any damage on that car, they would have took pictures of that car in the driveway before anything.
Amen. Yeah. Hey, right? this is great.
If you go to any kind of scene and there's a car there that's got damage, they should be able to put those pictures of that car in her mother's driveway with the snow on the ground, because it was snowing like hell that day.
Yeah.
They should have pictures of that.
I'm glad you're on my show.
I didn't see no damage on that back car.
No, but you, Manny calls you, hey, grab a car from the auction. You look around, see what it's got on it. That way, when Randy yells at you and says, "Hey, you got a dent," what do you tell him?
So, are we done?
If it had a lot of damage,
Hey, you would have a picture of that
No,
dent.
I'm
wouldn't
not
you?
done.
Right.
I'm waiting for the recording.
If you saw a dent on a car you were towing, you would not take a picture.
What's that?
If you was called to tow a car, you would. If you saw a dent or any damage, you would take a picture, right?
Me to tow it, and they were there. I didn't know anything about the case or anything, and then I found out later about it. I saw it on the news.
Well, state policeman says, "Hey, tow this car. The Diamond Towing, tow this car. You want their business, but you're gonna take it." The state policeman, what are they gonna do? Arrest you after they tell you? You take it. You're getting paid, right?
Yeah, I towed it right to the police station, though. I didn't tow it to my shop or nothing.
No.
Went from that house right to Canton, and they were with me the whole time.
Nice. Wow. But no damage on the car.
I think there's more to that story than what they're saying, because I don't see how they're saying what, she backed into him or something?
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously, but
who is this guy? Is he a witness? Is this just for a YouTube clout? I mean, like, I don't, this is just a rando that you grabbed that some YouTuber called up, and he could be lying. Where's his signed affidavit? Why is the defense not going up to this guy? Where's the, I like to see it.
Here's the SUV being towed from the house.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the taillights intact.
I don't see the tail light. I only see one side.
You can see it.
I only see one side. I only see one side.
Intact.
There's two sides.
I mean,
and it's not a great photo. It's not a good photo, bro.
But see, here's the thing: is if I was a defense attorney and presented this, and I was, you know what I mean, and you were a juror, you'd have to go, okay, well, I don't know. That's
your theory is that the cops.
I don't have a theory.
Then what the hell are you doing here? I mean, you don't have a theory?
Of course not. Of course not. I don't have a theory. I have a theory that all I have is a theory that I don't have a theory. I have proof that this investigation was conducted in at least a negligent manner. And that there was way too many mistakes made in this investigation.
No, there's more than mistakes, because you're implying that the cops are implanting evidence. That's not a mistake, sir. That is a cover-up. Can you actually state like what your opinions are instead of like?
And you're sitting here saying that this stuff, unless it's in a document, that it's not proof.
It has to be a sworn statement. This guy has to testify. He can't just have a YouTuber call him up and say, "Hey, I got some information here."
Hold on. So explain to me why the defense presented the facts that Turtle Boy's investigations uncovered. Yes, two hearings ago, the defense presented evidence that the Proctors and the McCabe's were personally involved.
Come on, buddy. Clever's not liking this.
No, Clever's just a puppy that wants to chew on everything. Stop, buddy. Come on. Clever, please. Here. Hold on. Actually, I can fix this right now. Give me 1 second. Go ahead.
No problem. How you doing, guys? Hopefully the dog is not causing any trouble for Mr. Glare. Hopefully we'll be back soon. Though we will see. I'm kind of shocked he let me just sit on this. He probably trusts me, so I'm glad he trusts me not to say anything stupid.
I have no reason not to trust you, B.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything stupid. Yeah, you're talking about Albert's relation, the photos, the Facebook photos, basically. That's what you're basically talking about?
Yeah, I mean, if the defense is submitting these things as evidence to defend their client, well, it's got to be true, right? Now, let's also.
I mean, isn't the fact that he's Brian Albert's brother's wife's sister's friends? I mean, like they're like friends with Proctor's sister. Like they're like really far distance. I remember I saw on Court TV with Koffendorfer explaining the relationship 9 days ago. It's a pretty distant relationship. I don't even think there's blood relations at all or familiar relations. This like it
has to be a blood. It has to be a blood relation.
I mean, if I'm going to commit, like, go to jail for you for 20 years, yeah, I probably would not need to be related to you or be really good friends with you. I'm not going to jail for you.
Well, hold on a second.
I mean, wife's sisters was friends with Proctor's. I mean, like brother's wife's sister was friends with Proctor's sister, and he's going to commit like perjury and planting evidence and go to jail.
The DA
That's pretty crazy.
The DA himself lied.
Oh, I don't think the DA lied. The DA won't lie because that would be a breaking of the actual rules of ethics. He probably didn't know. It's so distant. It's like ridiculous. It's like what? Brothers, wife, sisters, friends with Proctor's sister. I mean, oh my God. The guy met him like what? How many years ago was that photo? I mean, and he's going to plant evidence?
Let's listen to this.
Cool.
Oh, hold on. I got to unmute it here. My bad.
No problem.
There we go.
This will be the first statement of its kind in my dozen years as Norfolk District Attorney. The harassment of witnesses in the murder prosecution of Karen Reed is absolutely baseless. Should be an outrage to any decent person, and it needs to stop. Innuendo is not evidence. False narratives are not evidence.
I mean, I agree with this guy so far.
The show is that John O'Keefe never entered the home at 34 Fairview Road in Campton the night he died.
I agree.
Location data from his phone recovered from the lawn beneath his
body.
Of
course you agree. He's the DA.
I agree with him. So that's how this is refuting me.
11 people have given statements that they did not see John O'Keefe enter the home at 34 Fairview that night.
Here, let me just.
Proctor.
Let me get to the.
A joint in or taken in by a vast conspiracy should be seen for what it is. Completely contrary to the evidence and a desperate attempt to reassign guilt.
Sounds like a smart guy.
I know you do.
100% agree with this guy.
State police trooper being accused of planting evidence outside 34 Fairview Road was never at Fairview Road on the day of the incident. Proctor and his state police partner traveled together the entire day while other officers were processing 34 Fairview. Trooper Proctor was not there and did not plant evidence at 34 Fairview Road. In addition to having no opportunity to plant the evidence, as has been suggested,
listen up here.
Proctor would have no motive to do so. Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation. Close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation. No close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation, and had no conflict. And he had no reason to step out of this investigation.
That is a blatant fucking lie.
Oh, it says
that is a blatant
Brian
fucking
Albert,
lie. Now,
brothers, wife, sisters, friends with Proctor's sister. That is not a close relationship. That's the sister being friend. I mean, like, that's not a close relationship. You're acting like this is like close, like they're family. I don't think they're close.
Dude, you don't think they're that close, huh? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you got the photo of him at the being at the marriage, basically. So,
I mean, dude,
I don't think that's close. That's not close to me.
My world.
I mean, how many marriages? How many marriages have you got? I mean, like,
look, Karen Proctor, the Proctor's second family. The Proctor's second family. That's not close. How is that not close, dude? How is that not close?
I don't consider it close.
It's right there. What are you talking about? Second family. How is that not close? It doesn't get any closer than that.
Doesn't get any closer
except for blood. Except for blood.
I mean, I don't consider that close, and I don't believe that guy lied. I mean, just like you say, I don't know. I think the cops planted it. I mean, like,
dude, and the defense plans on proving this.
Sure. And what are they planning on proving? That Proctor plant. You think that the defense is going to bring Jen McCabe up and then prove that she's some sort of evil sociopathic person that went home and plotted, like, researched ways to have.
Why did she delete all of the calls from her from her phone
Because
and all
that's
of the
normal
texts?
routine. I mean, like,
that's normal routine.
Mhm. Why did Karen Reed delete all her phone calls?
That's not
Why did
suspicious
Karen
at all.
Reed? Delete her 2 cell phone data and waited 40 minutes before handing it?
Show me a document that says that she did that.
Oh well, it's a news report. It's from Twitter. Just like you went on TikTok to pull up that video.
Who wrote that news report and posted it on Twitter exactly?
Grant Elliott. It's great news reporter. Great news reporter. What's so funny? Great news reporter. Better than Turtle Boy.
Where did Grant get that information exactly?
From a source. That's what he claimed.
Okay. Right. Great.
Okay.
So Grant also thinks that attorney-client privilege isn't a thing. Grant also thinks that a lawyer cannot knowingly have a lawyer cannot have the information that their client is guilty because it's an ethics violation. He believes that. He said that out loud.
Wrong. He's wrong.
I know
with
he's
that
wrong.
One.
Right.
I know that. I mean,
do
you agree with everything Turtle Boy says?
He's such a great investigator.
Do you agree with everything Turtle Boy says?
Everything that Turtle Boy has provided proof of, yeah.
Oh, do you agree with everything he says?
No, of course not.
Okay, then that's the same with me.
Of course.
So why are you holding me to a higher standard?
But the thing is Turtle Boy has actually shown evidence of everything that he stated, but has differentiated his opinion from
Let's get to the 227. Like what
you're saying, you're saying that Grant is stating this is fact that Karen Reed wiped both of her phones.
Well, if she did, isn't that incriminating?
Not at all.
Okay, then why are you saying it's incriminating for Jennifer McCabe to do it? Okay,
sorry.
Thank you.
No, sorry. I was looking at something.
Okay. I mean, getting help? I don't know. Getting messages?
No, what was your question again? Sorry.
If you think that it's not incriminating to delete your information from a phone that a warrant gives you, then why are you holding the same standard from Jennifer McCabe?
Well, I mean, that's a good point. That's fair. That's fair. But I don't believe that. I don't believe Grant's position on that. Grant has given me no reason to believe that his reporting is accurate.
Same with me with Turtle Boy.
But Turtle Boy provides proof.
Not all the time. He does not provide all the time. He screws up a lot. For instance, the 227 40-second thing is a misinterpretation of the data. I mean, if you read the actual document,
how is it a misinterpretation of the data?
Okay, the file parsed from the basically it's in a temporary file, and basically when they checked it, in addition to that exact same time of 2:27:40 a.m., there is a search located in a knowledge seed database that it was ozonebasketball.com teams. This timestamp is the last interaction of the Sephora tab in the iPhone to search the Ozone Basketball website at 2:27:40 seconds, and not a search of "How's longs to die in cold." This search would have been purged from the wall file, which is like a temporary file, once the tab was closed because it would have been committed to the database. At the same time period that the defendant highlights Ms. McCabe's cellular phone shows several unrelated searches that conducted and also show deleted from a wall file for Canton Girls Basketball YouTube music video. The defense expert also located a picture artifact from Sephora cache records with a URL pertaining to how long does it take to digest food. When the URL is run, it will bring up the image of a person with a plate of food counter before them, cutting up said food.
That's the prosecution's so-called experts take on interpreting.
It makes sense,
right?
I mean, when Karen Reed went there.
You want me to explain to you why it doesn't make sense?
Go for it.
Because now, if you set that precedent, now you're going to have to go back to every other person that was convicted based on Celebrite data being proof. You're gonna have to retry every single person.
If they're wrongfully convicted, why not? I mean, if this is like actually,
okay, so Brian Walsh, who's actually in the same jail as Turtle Boy right now. Brian Walsh, you know.
I have no idea about the case. I will not comment on cases I have no idea about. Sorry.
Okay, well, Celebrite data dictates that he made all of these insane searches about how long, about how to dispose of a body and so on.
Look it up.
No, okay. I mean, it's not necessary. The point is,
you're bringing it up. I can't look up things I don't have information.
Well, because because I'm making a point. The point is that if they use that as evidence, and you can challenge Celebrite's accuracy and how they assess these Google searches as evidence, well, then you have to reopen every single case that someone was convicted using Celebrite data.
Should people be wrongfully convicted based on faulty evidence?
So now there's this whole new precedent set based on this case, right?
Okay, but it says here that the search was done at 2:27:40. And also, it'd make more sense because Jennifer McCabe said, "Can you check how long it would take to die of cold?" When she was basically trying to go. And also, the person that brought the blanket to try to save John O'Keefe's life was Jennifer McCabe, and she was the one that called up 911.
1 second. Go ahead and no, go ahead. I have to show you something, but I have to find it first.
Okay. I mean, do you have an explanation why she was looking up Ozone Park basketball instead? Do you have an explanation for that?
I will in a second.
Good. I'll wait. So, according to your theory, you think Jennifer McCabe is some sort of sociopathic, evil, maniacal person that watched her friend. She watched her friend of 8 years, someone she knew about 8 years, get beat up. Then proceeded to just go home and research how to kill him, to give ideas. And she never pressed on that tab, by the way. She never pressed on it and did a search, read the articles of how long to die in cold. I mean, you're going to have to bring her on the stand and prove that this woman is a monster. Because anyone that can actually sit in a room, know someone for 8 years, and then basically plan out their death, go with a grieving person, carry the supposed grieving person to look for look for him, and just that would make you a monster. And why, if her plan was to have him freeze to death, why is she the first one to throw a blanket on him and call 911? That makes no sense. Sorry.
She wasn't the first person to throw a blanket on him.
She grabbed the blanket. She grabbed the blanket and put it on him. She was the one that was doing that. Okay.
Now she
tried to save his life.
This is that's inaccurate. I have a
that's your opinion.
I have a phone call. I have a recording of her 911 call that totally refutes that.
Okay. Well played.
So I will in a second.
Okay.
I was looking for the Celebrite data here. Now
I'm reading a document.
This is blurry. This is blurry. Sorry about that. But see on the top here,
a lot of blurry images these days.
It says how's long to die to die.
This is the report from the defense, correct?
This is the Celebrite data, dude.
Yeah.
This is the Celebrite data.
What is Celebrite data, by the way?
Well, it's a company that is normally used in a lot of different cases. I couldn't explain to you in detail exactly who Celebrite is and what they do, but I know that it's been used in cases in the past, such as the Gannett Stout, Letitia Stout trial. So it says here, 129:22. How long to die in cold? 2:27 a.m. All right. Now, explain to me. I
can't see the document. Can you send me this document so I can read it? Because it's so small. Can you make it bigger? You can hit that that plus button.
It gets even more blurry if I do that.
Jesus Christ, man. I can't even read it. Okay. It says, so let me see. At 6:23, it says 51. It says how long to die in misspelling that. and it says at 6:24. Okay, that's because Karen Reed at the time screamed at her to look for how long it died in hypothermia.
You're overlooking a serious detail here, my man.
What's the serious detail?
Is that they're spelled differently.
Yes.
The prosecution is claiming that it was the same search.
No, they're claiming the 227 was one of the same searches.
220. So why?
I mean, did you look?
Why would she Google how long to die in the cold?
Because Karen Reed asked her.
Can you let me finish a question, please?
Go for it.
Why would she search at 2:27 a.m. how long to die in the cold?
She didn't. She opened a pre-existing tab.
She didn't.
She opened up a pre-existing tab that she originally did. Okay, you want me to explain, or do you want to talk over me?
Well, no, because I'm not done with my question.
Okay.
Why the different spelling at 6:23? Why the different spelling in the search? How
if you actually looked at Lucy,
a different spelling, and how could there be the same search if it's different spelling?
If you looked at Lucy Goosey, she actually has 4 separate accounts for the search, and one of the matches the same. One of the matches of the 227.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
Okay, the 227. There was 3 searches at that particular time, I believe. Let me just go. And one of the matches, I believe, the same spelling. But let me just make sure, because there was
right.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that one of them is the same spelling, but there's clearly a second. There's clearly a second spelling here, taking place within a minute, not at the same time, but within a minute from the other search.
Well, it says how long.
What that indicates to me is that she's trying to cover her own ass.
No, what it indicates to me is that you're misinterpreting the data and you don't understand the data.
How can I misinterpret the data when there's 2 different times and 2 different spellings?
No, sir. If you look at 224, I mean,
it's right there.
If you look at this Lucy at Sleuthy Goosey's post, we're using that, aren't we? Using that? It says it on 6/24/18.
This is a screenshot.
Oh, okay, so we're not using.
Why I can't send it to you.
Oh, okay. So we're using incomplete data. You're just not giving me the documents. Okay.
This is a screenshot of the Celebrite data, dude.
Okay, sure.
I mean,
yeah, but Celebrite data is temporary. It's not.
The only reason I picked this is because it's highlighted so that you can see it.
Bro, it's the same thing. What happened was she had a pre-existing tab open.
I mean,
and she did a pre-existing search.
I can't explain it any clearer.
When Karen Reed asked her to search how long it takes to die of hypothermia or something like that, she asked that. She did
cover her own ass.
Karen Reed to cover her own ass. Yeah, I agree. Karen Reed to cover her own ass.
No, Jen McCabe.
No.
It's right. I mean, Sleuthy Goosey's confirming it. You're asking me to use Sleuthy Goosey shit. She's confirming it right there.
At 2:20 to die in cold at 6:24, and then it's the exact same thing at 2:27.
Okay, what document are you?
I'm using Sleuthy Goosey's timeline of events. Aren't we using that? I mean, I'm at least looking at it.
No, I'm looking at the document.
Okay,
are you looking at?
So we're using her and we're not using her. Okay.
We're using Sleuthy Goosey's spreadsheet for
documents.
We're
using rando guys get called up on TikTok as proof or something that's not verified by a cop. And we're using a document that hasn't been vetted. I don't know where this document came from.
Of course, but it creates doubt. And the company is that company, the tow truck company, is the company that towed Karen's car.
Okay, and I'm supposed to believe. Why did the defense not approach this guy?
You're not supposed to believe it. You're supposed to doubt.
I'm supposed to doubt? I mean, isn't it supposed to prove that she's innocent?
You're telling me right? No, it's not on the defense to prove that she's innocent. It's not on the defense.
Okay,
it's on the prosecution.
So you think she's guilty? You think she's guilty?
No.
Okay.
Who said that?
Then she has to be innocent or guilty. I mean, like, are we not realizing that she can be
she's
guilty?
innocent until proven guilty, dude?
True,
that's how the law works.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? You're like, reasonable doubt. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm insinuating corruption, but I don't want to really commit to saying it's corruption. Why don't you just full on go on that?
I'm insinuating. I'm stating the possibility of corruption is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm stating the possibility that Karen Reed hit her hit John O'Keefe with the back of her car and then try to cover it up.
We know that. We know that that's possible.
Definitely possible.
That's possible. But but it's not fact. It's improvable. It's not provable.
It's going to be tried in trial. That's the evidence that they're going, and the prosecution's probably going to release a lot more evidence, and we're going to watch it.
Explain to me why this investigation is under federal investigation.
Why is this investigation? Because basically, I mean, I have to think because I'm trying to think.
No, please take your time.
No problem. I think I watched the review of The Lawyer That Wants to Know, and it seemed to be like some sort of bickering match, and they were looking into the department. I believe there was some, I don't have notes in front of me about this, so I'm a little bit iffy about it. So I believe there was some sort of bickering between the two offices. I think they were looking into investigating the office, and it was very weird. I would say that much. It's a very weird situation. I would say that much. And I actually agree with the actual documents from the FBI to be released. That's simple as that. I agree with that. I had no issues with that. Okay. I answered your question. Sound quiet.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not running at your pace here.
You're asking me to do that for you, but I mean, come on.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So you
think that the FBI, do you think the FBI is going to somehow exonerate, just basically throw out the trial based upon their investigation? Because I thought they didn't.
No, I mean, I don't know what the FBI has.
Then you're expecting me to know what the FBI has. Okay.
I didn't say that. I'm asking you why you think that the DA's office is under federal investigation.
I really don't know. I have a very vague understanding. It seems very like bickering between the two parties.
Do you think that an agency that has a 97% success rate in their investigations for convictions is just blowing smoke?
Don't know. I mean, why is Donald Trump being investigated? Do you think he's guilty?
Oh no.
Okay, so I mean, if Donald Trump's not guilty,
I don't know, but I absolutely think that.
The FBI is investigating him. Is he automatically guilty?
I think that it's politically driven and a witch hunt, but we're talking apples and oranges here. You can't. Compare that.
I'm just saying, FBI is not always right.
Ridiculous points right here.
Not a ridiculous point. I'm saying
that the feds have a 97% success rate.
Well, not with Donald Trump.
How do you know that?
So you think Donald Trump's guilty?
No, I'm saying I don't know. I haven't followed.
I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows in this debate.
What does that have anything to do? I'm trying to be very respectful towards you for coming onto this channel, and you're making it extremely difficult. So I'm warning you.
Okay.
I'm warning you. If you're trying to get me to just boot you the fuck off, then we can end this now. But I'm trying to have a healthy debate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so quit acting like a fucking child.
I think someone else is acting like a child, sir. You didn't answer one question.
Yeah, no, I have.
I asked you how the plastic got there. You said I don't know.
I'm the one pulling these things up.
You had snow covering the back of that light. It was a terrible picture of the back of the taillight. Couldn't see jack with it. Okay. Then you got some TikTok guy doing an interview, some rando from a tow truck place that I don't even know if it's actually a vetted witness. And then you're refuting the evidence in the memorandum. I mean, come on, man. What is this? What is it?
What is what?
I mean, for instance, let's go to
Are you talking about what's on the screen right now? It's a fucking document, dude.
No, I'm talking about what is with you. You haven't committed to any answers. You're telling me to commit all these answers, explain things to you.
That's my point.
Your point is that we just don't commit to any answers.
No, my point is that we don't have any evidence that Karen Read is guilty. No definitive evidence that Karen Read is guilty.
Yeah, that's why we have a trial. But I can have an opinion. I can have an opinion. I think she's guilty.
nobody's faulting you for having an opinion.
Kind of.
What
you
I'm
are.
saying is, what I'm asking is, what are you basing your opinions on?
I just showed you multiple documents of evidence that why I based my opinion.
And
I also
and I refuted your
no, you didn't. You
Yeah, I
first
did.
tried to lie to me.
Where-
You tried to say that the kids never got
Who con-
interviewed.
Who conducted the interview, dude?
Oh, but it's
of the
like
kids?
I mean, like it's
Who
like
conducted the
everything
interview?
I bring up.
Why
as
is
evidence,
every witness statement not signed?
I mean, if every single piece of evidence
Show
I
me
bring
one
up,
witness.
oh
Show
my
me
God.
a witness statement that's signed.
I mean, every single piece of evidence I brought to you, you says, I don't know. It doesn't,
So-
it's not vetted. It's not, but like,
Answer
but then
the
you grab,
question.
a
Answer
recording.
the question.
Why is it signed?
Why,
It's signed by
why aren't the witness statements signed, dude?
Well, I'm sure they're going to testify. So that's their statement, sir.
They're doing
it's a
it-
court document. It doesn't, what are you talking about?
Right,
Also,
I know. And it's
what
not
about-
valid unless it's signed.
Okay, so we're gonna live in that.
I mean,
court documents are not valid.
It's a witness
Okay.
statement. It's no.
The
That's
judge,
my point.
why isn't the judge throwing it out then?
Because it hasn't gone to trial yet, genius.
Okay, so there's no motion practice to have it removed from the lawyer?
I mean, they haven't gotten to that point
Okay,
yet, but they
okay.
have been filing motions.
Sure.
They
okay.
have been filing motions. Why
I'll
did
wait.
it take over a year to get so much evidence in discovery for the defense to be able to review?
I mean,
Explain
Young
that.
Thug took a year for his jury selection.
What does that have to do with? What does that have
Trials
to do with
take a while. Trials take a while, man.
Will you shut the fuck up for a second so I can
mean,
finish?
It sounds
the
like
question?
you're cursing a little bit at me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm absolutely cursing because you're acting like a fucking dickhead.
I'm
So
not
listen
acting
and
like-
shut up for a second.
I mean, listen, I'm having
Listen
a
and
conversation.
shut up for a second.
Let's
answer the question, dickhead.
Listen.
Answer the
It sounds
question.
like you're losing, and now
Why?
you're getting mad at hominem attacks.
Not at all.
Interesting. Interesting.
No, I'm trying to ask
Very
you a
interesting.
question,
I've answered them.
and you're not letting me talk.
Go.
I'm trying to ask you a very simple question when you're not letting me talk. I'm trying to stay on task here. Okay. Now, are we good now?
I mean, I would like an apology because you cursed at me.
Why did it take a year for the prosecution to share discovery with the defense?
Reasonable. I don't know. Same as your thing. I'm not the I'm not the prosecution.
That's not suspicious.
Well, that's suspicious to you, but trials take a while.
The trial hasn't started yet, B-Tim.
I mean, yeah, it takes a while to set up. I mean, you're laughing, but you haven't answered any of my questions.
I'm laughing because you're
Yeah, I mean,
you're
the one
over me
that's
to avoid
cursing.
simple points. And
It's
yes,
not-
I curse
it's very
on my
simple.
channel.
I mean, whatever. I don't curse at people, so.
Dude.
How about the bite? How about the supposed bite marks and claw marks? Why don't we move on to that?
Okay, sure. What's your question?
Do you think it's bite marks or claw marks?
I think that could be either or. I don't know, but
Mm.
I know that Melanie Little had a dog training expert who absolutely dictated that he and other colleagues say without a doubt that those injuries came from a dog.
Well, why did they send it to a test lab in California and determine it was not dog DNA or basically?
That's a good question. Why was it sent to California?
I mean, because that's where the test was formed. I mean, I
Is
don't know
that-
what labs. Are you a lab expert? Do you know which is the best lab to test things?
Are you?
No, but that's what it was. They basically set forth that that it's not dog DNA. And also those are not uniform claw marks or bite marks.
Except they never tested it for dog DNA though, dude.
They sent it to California to test out.
Was it tested?
Yes, it was.
Really?
California.
Show me where it was.
Show me where it was. It's in the documents.
Show me the document that says that it was tested.
I have to show you documents. You don't have to show Jack. Okay, bro.
What are you talking about? I've been sharing the screen.
Yeah, okay,
nonstop
bro.
here, dude.
Okay, bro. Let me see. I believe it was in an article. Oh, one moment. I got. Playing music on the background, sir? Yeah, if you don't shut off that music, I'm probably going to skedaddle. I'm not going to be disrespected like this. You're not going to disrespect me like that. I want an apology.
I'm just waiting for.
I'm waiting for you. Dude. I'm waiting for you to apologize now for that outburst.
Where's the document, dude?
Why don't you apologize first? Because I'm not going to be disrespected. I'll skedaddle out of here.
Where's the document?
Why don't you apologize?
It sounds like you're scared and you just want to leave.
No, it sounds like you're just being kind of rude.
I'm definitely being rude.
Yeah, well, I don't appreciate
you haven't
that.
been rude. You haven't been rude to me this entire time and talking over me this entire time.
I mean, I've been talking facts of the case, and you haven't. So I suggest
I'm waiting for this document that states that the.
You know what, sir? I'm done with you. I demand an apology.
You brought it up. You wanted to talk about. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. So. I mean, where's this document? I mean, he brought up people. He was the one that brought up the dog. Is it on me to prove that the dog left DNA or didn't leave DNA? I mean, people, this is what we talk about. Confirmation bias. That was clear evidence of confirmation bias coming from people who are convinced without any actual evidence that Karen Read is guilty. And my position has always been, those of you who've been watching me for a while, my position has always simply been, I have doubts. We'll find out at trial. But if this case gets thrown out, by the way that the Constitution works, Karen Read is innocent. Plain and simple. Karen Read is innocent. So, I mean, is there no one? Is there no one that can come here and last? Is there no one that can come here and prove their position that Karen Read is absolutely beyond a reasonable doubt guilty of murdering John O'Keefe? Clever. You go, boy. Always making too much noise. I think, folks, I think the actions speak for themselves here, folks. It got to a point where he cried and whined about an apology because I played music in the background for him to find a document. And instead of actually finding the document, B. Tim decided to cry and whine about the fact that I was playing music, waiting for him to find a document that doesn't exist. So, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to the super chats. I did not want to interrupt this person. But I appreciate all of the super chats and all of the support. I even offered not to do it. I offered to turn off my super chats originally, but I had texted or DM'd with Queen B, and Queen B was of the understanding that I was of the understanding that she was going to be monetizing her stream as she streamed this. So I thought, well, I mean, it's content. Why should she make money off of my stream and I don't make money off of my own stream? So Right. There was no document. There was clearly no document. And I mean, he can come back if he finds the document. He's welcome to come back if he finds the document. And I still got plenty of coffee left. I'm perfectly willing to continue this discussion. Team Brittany gifted 10 memberships. Jesus, Team Brittany, you are too kind. Let's see here. Congrats to Kit Kat, E23, Turn the Page, Rich, Dietz, MB, Christy, a different YouTuber, Candy for You, and I think that's it. So, again, confirmation bias, folks. When you are fixated on an opinion and and you're asked to show evidence that you're basing this opinion on, and you whine, cry, and quit, well, that proves to me that you have opinions based on absolutely nothing. Nothing tangible, nothing debatable, nothing. You have absolutely nothing. Lally's memo. Thank you so much, Charlene Savioli. Lally's memo to Little states: no testing was done on the arm. Thank you so much. He brought up the Chloe talk. That's what I love. He brought up the Chloe talk. That's my favorite. He brought it up. Yeah, I mean, what his political affiliation is means nothing to me, guys in chat. So, I mean, I would have loved to continue that conversation. I would have loved to know where Chloe was and how he got that information. And dollars to donuts, folks, I bet you anything he would have quoted Coffindoffer and said, well, Chloe's in Vermont, when we have nothing to indicate other than Coffindoffer's word that Chloe is in Vermont. So, I mean, but B Tim, I mean, it was really nice of Queen Bee to let you off of your leash and join me for this. I had fun. But dude, I mean, you're welcome back anytime. If you find that document or anything else that proves Karen Reed is guilty, then you're welcome here anytime. I had a blast. Oh, yeah, I know I'm being rude. What, rules for thee and not for me? Is that how this works? I mean, is that how this works? Fuck yeah, I'm being rude. The guy's a fucking tool. He's like half of a vagina. And he acted like it. He absolutely acted like, I want an apology. I want an apology. You're being rude to me. The guy fucking talked over me the entire time. The entire time. And as promised, I did not mute him. And he rage quit, cried, whined, and quit, demanding an apology. Dude, does he know me? When do you ever see me give an apology to somebody like that? That's never going to happen. I'll give him an apology as soon as he shows me that document that shows that John O'Keefe was tested for animal DNA. Right. Because I mean, he can come on back, because I'd still like to know why there was actually no search done of the home when there's a dead police officer in the lawn of the property. I'd still like to know why Nicole Albert slept through all of the commotion. I'd still like to know. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Sorry about that. I got distracted there. Thank you, Patrick. I mean, I have all these questions. Why isn't he here to answer them? Be Tim, please come back. I have all these questions. I mean, dude, and the only reason, here's a fact. Okay? Let me go over this real quick. Let me play you guys a little something here. Let me play you guys a little something here. Okay, so
Him guilting that assault victim.
Oh, here we go.
We can go through it again.
this
if
was
you like.
yesterday.
Here we go. Now you got him started.
I mean, would you like to listen to the recording?
Who else is a tragedy pimp? Though?
We didn't even get into
do
the
y'all have
Turtle Boy
opinions
stuff,
besides
man.
him?
I got so much
Okay,
coffee. I was
I would
ready to
say
go.
Betty, obviously. Lana.
Lana.
Yeah, definitely Lana. Betty. I would say with the Dolly thing, with the clickbait stuff, that was definitely a tragedy pimp thing, kind of. And I would say JLR, I'm kind of iffy because he's kind of doing content, which is kind of, is he really doing, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked into him recently too much, but I don't think he's really doing too much false information recently. And he talks about a lot of different stories. So he used to be one, but I'm not sure about the current situation with him right now.
Dolly.
Dolly already answered, yes.
Tragedy pimp, yeah. Okay. That's not my definition. That's what was found online.
Well, what's on is the Urban Dictionary that someone filled in. Okay. Suggestions about something.
Okay, so in place of tragedy pimp, you could put grief grifter.
Grief grifter, whatever.
Okay, see, at this point, I'm in the chat. Okay? At this point in yesterday's live there on Queen Bee's channel, I was in the chat. And I was explaining about the person that accused Turtle Boy. Well, the thing about her is that the evidence dictates that she's not a victim. You do know what evidence is, don't you, B. Tim? Clearly, he doesn't know what evidence is. Patty K, thank you so much. Lucky is more reliable because he is conditioned to be aware of fire hydrants. John was next to one. He would have saw him. Right. I mean, he would have absolutely saw him. The plow driver would have absolutely saw him.
Also, the fact is that I believe her when she was threatened with revenge porn, because basically he admitted under oath, Turtle Boy, that he's a revenge pornographer who did that to people in the past, and the only reason why he did it was because it was legal in Massachusetts at the time.
And he did it. She did it to him first.
Right.
What? She didn't do revenge porn on him.
The original revenge porn lady. Yeah.
Well,
she put out his porn and he put out hers.
Well, he's done it multiple times to other women. So I believe he threatened her. I believe he absolutely threatened her with that, with a sock account on Twitter. And I also believe that that was absolutely what his intention. He also talked about how his lawyer Brado was going to tear her up in the stand, and he threatened her. I absolutely believe that he did witness intimidation. I believe he did do assault and battery to a woman who, by the way, was pregnant at the time, and he convinced her to take an abortion pill.
No.
So
She took her to get the abortion. She acted like she got it and then told him she didn't get it. She admitted to that.
Yeah, she took the pill while I was there.
No, the actual abortion, though.
Yeah.
He took her to get it. She said she did, and then came back and was like, well, no, I didn't. What? Like, he is upset for her. She acted like she was mourning. Like, she was upset about the baby that was gone. And there was no baby that was gone. They said the picture was from like May.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is Tracy Ann Chasing. You saw her in the chat with the wrench. I can always count on her to stick to facts. That's why she has a wrench here. And I can always count on her to stick to facts, as well as deets on the streets. Those are the two people that I actually learned this case from. Now, I've never spoken to them privately discussing the details of the case. I spoke to them on someone named Laura's panel, and that's when they brought it up to me, and I was just like, what? And I had heard of the case, but then I didn't really, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to do a deep dive. If the two of them are saying that there's something to really look into here, then I'm going to look into it. And that's exactly what I did, and I did it live in front of all of you. Because I wanted you to know that I was following facts. Well, Gregor, that's the thing, is he did research, but the thing is he was proving the entire time that he was up here that he was only paying attention to documents that fed his narrative. As I was stating before, confirmation bias. He was only sticking to that and interpreting the evidence in order to dictate his narrative, in order to in order to back up his narrative. So when challenged with it, he buckled, and then he just started talking over me. But he wouldn't stick to the facts of anything.
Before they got together, I don't know if that's true. Though they never showed them.
Well, when they did that, that court thing, the court hearing they put out.
Mm-hmm.
Clubber.
It says it right in there. We flipped it on, and it says it right in there that she was pregnant.
Yeah. She was pregnant, and he convinced her to take an at-home abortion pill.
That's not true.
That sidebar video they uploaded. I don't know how
that's
they
not
even
true.
got that shit.
He never convinced her of anything. There's nothing there's nothing that states that Turtle Boy convinced this woman to take an abortion pill. This is what he says. These are the things that come out of this guy's mouth, which is why I challenged him to come up here.
Shit to upload it, but they sure did.
Ooh, I gotta watch it.
Wow, all their business all over the streets.
Yeah, that was uploaded because Mr. Turtle Boy got 86 visits under not being monitored because basically his attorney Brado said, hey, this person's a lawyer, so she can talk to him without any being supervised. And
you notice that he cherry picks the evidence, right? Sure, yeah. Bradle said that, but he misspoke and states that he misspoke. But he fails. I mean, as this goes on, you see that he fails to mention that Bradle filed a motion that would encourage that is asking the judge to remove Mello from the case due to a lack of professionalism. And bringing an attorney, accusing an attorney of a crime without any evidence.
Police took care of that. They're okay. Hold on,
This one right here. When you get a chance, check
Yeah,
this
that's
one
the
out.
big one.
Tiani. Whose channel is that, Queen?
Turtle Boy.
This Turtle Boys. And
Okay.
I don't know how. I was like, what the hell? How the hell did he get this? And how did you know what I mean? It's under his lives. It's not even he did it as a live stream. I'm like, what the hell? I thought he just didn't somebody just didn't upload, But they're doing live streams on here to keep his channel going, obviously. But this is a live stream and it's right at 56. So I think this is where we stopped.
About to go live.
This is what
But this is where they're talking in court, and they say right in this that she's pregnant.
Okay. Where?
So I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
But play it.
Sister Lies, I'm not eating Popeye. I'm eating Popeyes. Popeyes.
I mean, it's fascinating. Well, this is where it is, but play it. Where is the evidence? Where is it saying that she was absolutely pregnant?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys seen this or not, but this is the
investigator.
Oh, I seen it.
Well, or he's not.
court date here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, we all
ascension
now
hearing.
know. Only if you're right. Certainly now we know. But at the time,
Yeah, that's the one that
Wrong one.
supposedly he got
The
in
wrong
trouble,
one.
right?
Wrong hearing.
Yeah, that's the sanction hearing. That was the one we were reading tweets about yesterday.
Right.
That's
okay.
actually the sanction hearing. Yeah.
But anyhow, when you get a chance, yeah, watch this one.
The sanction hearing that went nowhere.
I will, for sure. Yeah, I hadn't.
Yeah, so that's the only way. That's the only reason why. And then that she says she took that pill in that call or whatever that he recorded in his pocket.
That he didn't turn over the phone. He didn't turn over, and he gave only a 10-minute edited video, like 20-minute edited video. Yeah, that one.
Oh, cheesy did it. No. I am eating now.
Hold on, Cap said since the Glares shared Frankie's pick and Morbid shared the Glares pick, does that cancel each other out? Does
See,
two
this
wrongs
is the
make
thing.
a right? I'm pretty sure
These are the things that these people focus on. This is a drama channel that is run here that we're listening to. So this is the only things that they pay attention to.
naked pics.
Not
just
things that actually matter.
should stay private. Yeah, I mean they should all stay private.
Right. I think you should go immediately to jail if you just do revenge porn on people. I think it's the most disgusting thing you can do to people. I think it's a garbage thing to do to people, actually.
I agree. I think it's a garbage
No.
thing to do to people too.
I don't think I'm better than anybody, Baby Jane. Not at all. There's a lot of people way better than me.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I mean, in the perfect world, I think Morbid should probably have gone to jail for releasing that picture about the
Glare,
the glare thing. Yeah, absolutely. He should have probably there should have been some sort of cop coming to him. To be honest with you, I was kind of shocked that he actually did it, but whatever. But yeah, I think that's
no. You were disappointed that I didn't do that because it would have created more drama, and the police report would have been public record along with my personal information, which I'm not willing to give out. So I decided to just hit Morbid in the wallet, and that was good enough for me. It's nobody's place or anybody's business to dictate how I choose to deal with a crime that was committed against me and what I find to be retribution and what I don't. So
that's the truth. I think revenge pornographers should go to jail. 100%.
No, buddy.
Simple as that. It suddenly got quiet. But anyway,
I'm chewing. So
Cleaning my stove.
I mean,
What is the ethical way to
riveting?
to cover a case.
5 people up there.
I think it's up to basically just sticking to the facts of the case. And then you basically proceed just to talk about the facts of the case. It doesn't make you a tragedy pimp. That's like calling CNN a tragedy pimp because
Thank
they
you,
talk about a
Melissa.
missing person.
Yeah, it's like
Keep it out there.
people don't know what to do now. Like if they should cover something. or
Right.
if
This is the
like, where
guy.
is this community going to?
This
Or
is
it
what's
too
funny
far?
is this is the guy that this channel thinks is because again, he has a vocabulary and he can speak fast, but they don't differentiate. They mistake the fact that he can speak fast like like there's some sort of substance to it, but they don't question the substance behind anything that he's saying, which is always fascinating. Jenny's Creative Studio, thank you so much, appreciate it. So they never question the substance. They just hang on his every word like as if he's an expert in something because he interpreted certain things to fit his narrative.
Crime is it?
No, I mean, like, I don't think there's an issue when you're talking about the facts of a case. Like, would I say, like, a person who's constantly covering, like, the Kansas case? There's always new facts coming out about the Kansas case, and it's a lot of people are interested in it. So it doesn't make you a tragedy pimp because you're talking about this particular case.
Like here, for example, like the Chris Watts case. So a lot of people covered the Chris Watts case, okay, right?
Yeah.
He came out and said, yes, it was me. I did this. You know, this is... But then they kept going for a year, and then next year, and then 2 years later, next thing you know, her brother's, you know, private fucking pictures of his.
And it was really funny because I was perfectly willing to discuss the Turtle Boy situation. These people love to talk about Turtle Boy. They love it, which is really, really funny to me. They love to talk about Turtle Boy and they love to trash Turtle Boy. And their actions absolutely dictate an example of people who have formed their opinions on the Karen Reed, John O'Keefe case, on Turtle Boy, on their opinions of Turtle Boy, their personal opinions on Turtle Boy.
Private areas getting shared out, and the mom's being harassed, the dad's being harassed, you know, like
MGL shared that.
People are doing nonstop fucking streams over nothing, making shit up to make money on their fucking name.
Did you just say that shit out loud?
Tragedy pimping.
Yeah.
You're taking a tragedy and you're pimping the fuck out of it. 2 years later, you're still, you know.
Now I agree with her on that. That's why I don't talk about the Summer Wells case anymore, simply because it's being, and I love this because everybody's jumping to this conclusion, man. Like, I love the people who are jumping to this conclusion about the fact that there's excuse me, sorry about that. They're jumping to this ridiculous conclusion that these people who are going to be featured on this Paramount Plus true crime thing that is what is it, cyber sleuths or something to that effect. They're being featured on this, but everybody's freaking out about it. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, they're showing these tragedy pimps," which wouldn't be the first time that that's ever happened. Court TV has done it 100 times. I mean, it happens all the time. But here's the thing: is we don't even know the light that they're gonna portray these people in. We just, the thing hasn't even come out yet. It comes out like in February or something. But everybody's like, "Oh my God." But we don't know. I mean, because Bullhorn Betty and Olivia and these people who called themselves who are they? The hooves on the ground, the heels on the ground, right? 3 out of 4 of them are featured in this Paramount Plus thing as no, Clubber's just into God knows anything that he can grab right now. Cyber sleuths or something like that. Petty Patty. Let me I'll give me a second. Let me get through this real quick. This is almost done. There's only about a minute left of it. Not even.
Making live stream after live stream after live stream over the same shit. There's no new information. There's nothing coming out. Like the Kylie Rodney case, when they kept talking about that, she had been found. They had the funeral services. The mom asked, please stop talking about my daughter. Please.
Yeah.
And they continued to keep typing, Kylie Rodney died. Kylie Rodney, did she pass away? Kylie Rodney. You know what I mean? Like hashtagging her fucking name in every single live stream that they did every single day for weeks.
Now, what do you think about like?
Computer. Did she know she was going into the lake? Did Kylie Rodney have a sister? Was she an only child? Like, yes, she's an only fucking child, but stupid shit like that, you know?
Well, what do you think about using photos and thumbnails? I used a photo of the kid and a thumbnail because the photo was all over the internet and featured.
Right. If it's already all over the internet.
I don't think that's strategy pimping. Like, you've got a photo. That's not it.
What's up, the good
nun?
Nunya?
To the facts
Good
of
to
the
see
case,
you.
and you're discussing the facts of the case. It's not an issue.
So you think it's okay to? Well, what Cher did the other day is unacceptable.
Well,
but,
Cher is speculating and fucking lying and defaming a man and basically insinuating that he's full. You know, he's fucking something he's not.
Yeah.
All these people do is sit up there and talk shit about other creators. This is what they do.
And she put photos out, I think, that were not
And like half of it is just based on shit that they hear from other people.
even shown to the social media.
She's shown prior because I got a fucking screenshot of it shown
Okay.
December. So I think she's talking about the pictures she didn't show.
Mm-hmm.
I think those were the ones maybe that she, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the one she was talking
Because
about.
people are being, you know, they're getting.
This, are you talking about this picture here? Picture in a thumb. She didn't.
It's because it's the emergency content thing.
Well, he was there in Savannah. He went.
Picture that she had on the screen didn't.
We're in a thumbnail now.
That's not
Sorry, I'm just trying to get to this.
Girl.
Simply something.
Thinks he's up there. He's definitely behind there. I'll go find a clip with him. Claire, is this really you?
Yeah, of course it's me.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
I want to be able to.
Now,
I want to
this isn't the first time I've done this. This is me inviting B. Tim on here. He's refused. And his excuse was, I don't want Glare making money off of, I don't want him making money off of my name or whatever. And I'm like, well, nobody's going to log on for you, bro. Like, nobody gives a fuck who you are. Like, half of the comments that I got in my chat before this even started was, who the fuck is B. Tim? So, I mean, why? That should give you a little insight of how this guy thinks of himself and what world he's living in. But here,
I want to simply invite you verbally because I got threatened to be timed out. But I want to simply invite
you verbally.
I've never timed you out in here.
No. Hold on. P something, whatever her name is.
And that if he keeps talking, she's gonna time him out. Buzz.
Don't time out. Don't time out.
So, B. Tim, okay, listen, hear me out. I will turn off my super chats, not turn on my monetization.
Now, I absolutely would have done this because he was saying, I don't want Glare making money. But then I talked to Queen Bee, and he's probably getting a piece of whatever Queen Bee is making by streaming it. And I asked her, I texted her or DM'd her, and I was like, well, are you planning on being monetized for this? Because what the fuck? If you're going to monetize, then why the fuck should I not monetize? That's fucking ridiculous. But I didn't say it like that. She was just like, no, everything's cool. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it, blah, blah, blah. If we could do it the way me and Nick and Mel did it or whatever. And then, you know, simultaneously, but yeah, it's all good. And then, so I was like, all right, cool. Then I'll just run it like any other live stream.
Turn off the chat altogether.
I even offered to turn off
no chat at all.
I even offered to turn off the chat itself, where none of you guys could have even commented.
If you'll join me for a discussion, not a debate, even. It doesn't have to be a debate.
Thank you,
a
Grandmaster
discussion
Sofo.
I really think I should.
on
I
the
think
call.
you should. But why don't you do it here? Why can't you just talk now?
Because this is not a discussion. This is a panel full of people, and
Right. See, that's what happens. I go into that channel, and the imagine an entire chat.
Talk now.
Because this is not a
If I would have agreed to go on that channel, okay, it would have been full with people on the panel. It would have been completely it would not have been managed in any fucking in any favorable way towards getting to any facts and any truth. It would have been a shit show, an absolute shit show. This was a shit show. Just having one person from that panel on here was a shit show. Just having one person who runs that panel was a shit show on here. So imagine what it would have been like with all of the people who are dying to give me a piece of their mind, because that entire chat is flooded, and I'll show you, with, let's see. I mean, I'm not going to rewind it again because I don't want to play it, but you look at this shit and the whole chat is just totally, I mean, and they hate me, and they hate me they've hated me for a long time. I don't like them. I separated myself from associating with them a while back. And there's just no way that it would have been in any way productive for me to have been on that channel to have that discussion.
A discussion. This is a panel full of people and a hive full of angry bees in the chat. You can't have a conversation that way. That's not how I do it.
Would say it's not fair to do it here.
How I do things. I'm offering
You
a
can't
very
have a chat or anything though.
as
You can have a
neutral.
chat watching, but you shouldn't have a chat. It'll be.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say if we have to, you guys could do it here. Everybody could drop down. I mean, I could drop down. Y'all could do it here. That way you can't kick each other off panel.
You should. I think it'd be interesting.
Neither one of you guys can kick each other off. You can't mute each other. You can't take each other out. None of that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mute him as a guest on my channel. I would treat him the same as anybody else.
Well, of course, that's what they always do.
I'd be happy to.
You should, Tim. For real.
I can't think of any logical reason other than you being scared, Tim.
Sure.
I think he's interested in the case, so it would be very interesting to hear.
That's a lot to say.
He's cornered because I called him a coward, basically. I said the only reason you won't is because you're scared. That's when he felt cornered and felt like he had to come up here. But I mean, when you rage quit and demand apologies because I played Jeopardy music while you were stalling and not looking for when you were cornered with the challenge to come up with a document that you said existed that doesn't exist, well, that's you crying and whining and running away. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. That's what happened. That's what happened. So now, these people are absolutely adamant. Now, who knows? Maybe this Paramount Plus thing is bullshit. Maybe they absolutely have the intention of making Bullhorn Betty and JLR look like cyber sleuths. Because let's take a look real quick. Let's watch the trailer. This is and this infuriated everyone. Like, I mean, I watched it and I was just like, okay, this isn't the first time that they've had idiots featured as experts. This isn't the first time I've seen that in a documentary or some larger platform like Court TV or News Nation or something like that.
Citizen sleuths across the USA are focusing their attention on the brutal slayings of 4 college kids.
The Idaho College murders. I keep imagining that they're still in there.
This is not a CSI show. This is real life.
How did the roommates not hear 4 people getting brutally murdered?
There's so much speculating happening.
Now, that person on TikTok right there said something that I've said a million times. These are real people affected by a real tragedy. Every single person, every single person that's featured in this thing that I saw or that I'm aware of, that I've reviewed on this channel many times myself, every single person has targeted someone named Dylan Mortensen, who was a witness, who is in the statement or in the probable cause affidavit for this case. And all of them have either insinuated that she did not do enough and that she is in part to blame for these 4 people being killed when this was her friend, or just or even had something to do with it. So and my argument has always been what that person on TikTok there said. These are real people. Dylan Mortensen is a real person. You weren't there. You don't know. You don't know why she didn't call 911 right away. You don't know what the circumstances of that home were at the time. You just have a couple of lines where her name is mentioned. And her name wasn't even mentioned. That's the funniest thing. The law enforcement who wrote up the probable cause affidavit redacted her name and only put her initials in order to protect her. But yet these people did their cyber sleuthing and then decided to find out who this DM was. And it turned out it was Dylan Mortensen.
Right now, do I feel like it's harmful? Absolutely.
One can only imagine the sheer amount of blood in order for it to drip down an exterior like that.
They could be great cops, but they just don't have the equipment to handle a big case like this.
Law enforcement did say that they thought this was targeted.
Targeted.
Because there were not any answers. Sleuthing really went into overdrive.
This takes all of us to solve. Help us solve this case.
I got an email from Kaylee's father. The email was very simple. Let me know if you want to talk. Because I have such a large platform, I can get the story exposure.
You have other roommates in the house when these 4 were murdered.
Why were they not attacked?
They were all clear.
What happened?
You want to know the truth, you got to go find it yourself.
With the roommates at.
It is a huge knife. And
He didn't stay in home.
At 244.
I assumed it would have been. We want the truth from you. What?
Oh my God.
Detectives arrested 28-year-old Brian Kohlberger.
Who's Brian Kohlberger?
And it started to take a life of its own.
There's certain things the reporters
You
can't
saw a
talk
coffin
about.
offer, right?
There's plenty of places to hide a weapon.
Online, there is no vetting mechanism. Sleuths put all this evidence out there.
Stop and just seek official information.
There's all of these people that are trying to make dollar bills off of the victim's story.
My worst fear is the wrong person gets accused. People were messaging his family, death threats, and sadly someone else dies.
I think we're all there for the same cause. To help understand what happened and why.
If you're watching this video, this is the start of something major.
Okay. Now you see all that buildup and everything. Now, let me show you guys something else here. Let me show you guys one more thing here. and I love this. I absolutely love this. Now, here's the real version. This is by someone named Whistledown. Okay. Now, this is the real footage of these people. This is very fascinating to me. Alistair C, thank you so much. Hi, Blair. Could we debate all the creepy weirdo stalkers and child exploiters that wanted to watch Summerwell's dirty pictures, stalk hunters, Savage's grandkids, and Eve's kids for justice? I feel it's dangerous. Thanks. Caius, yeah. Boom. Awesome. I'm glad you like the shirt. Yeah, man. I've done that. You gotta go back because I've done tons of content on these people. All of the stuff that you're about to see, I reviewed myself. So take a look. I'm going to speed it up a little because it's pretty long, but it's quite informative. Now, this is the real Cyber Sleuths documentary. This is the truthful one. Okay?
They wish mainstream media would do a little more research before reporting on this and giving people a platform to spew things that are just not true and could affect a fair trial. That some person said something, and because it was juicy enough and because you can sensationalize it, mainstream media ran with it. And that is what we've been warning against from the beginning. So whatever fact comes out, make sure you scrutinize it and think about it critically. Where is it being reported from? How legitimate is it? Do we know that this person is who they say they are?
If you are the dealer, I'm out of the game. If you are the healer, means I'm broken and lame. If thine is the glory, then mine must be the shame. You want it darker.
All of this, all of those titles, misinformation. Every single one of them.
Magnified, sanctified be thy holy name. Vilified, crucified in the human frame. A million candles burning for the help that never came. You want it darker. Hey, nay, nay, nay. I'm ready, my lord.
Brian Laundrie's father hammers no trespassing signs into his lawn, and he is pleading with protesters today to leave his family alone. The long siege of the family's Florida home has to stop.
There's a water bottle right here.
This is right where the remains similar you see in Zion National Park.
It's a water bottle that looks just like the one used by Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie on their doomed cross-country road trip that ended so tragically.
So that's how,
and some people take advantage of.
That's how Chronicles of Oblivia made a name for herself in the first place. She claims to have found a water bottle belonging to Gabby Petito. That is bullshit. That's never been put into any evidence. That's never been officially stated as any evidence. I firmly believe 100% that Chronicles of Oblivia planted that water bottle in order to make a name for herself. And it worked.
Of situations in these high profile cases.
And the reason why I believe that is because everything that she's done since has been nothing but opportunistic. She's never actually stated anything that was factual.
And show up for whatever reason. And I don't know what the motives are of these folks. There was also reports over the weekend that he was mowing the lawn and tore down one of the protest signs that was at the memorial for Gabby Petito because it referenced his own daughter.
And I am losing my parents and my brother and my children's aunt and my future sister-in-law on top of this. And you're not helping
Why
me.
your parents? Why you're talking about
because they're not talking to us either.
Why aren't they talking to you guys?
If I knew, I would say. So that's not fair.
Where was that at?
On Saturday when you were here.
There's people out there, they feel your family's involved. The father's suspicion. The reason why we're here for you is because the media.
The media ended up misconstruing.
So now that's JLR out there talking to someone who could potentially be a witness. There's no evidence to indicate any foul play on her end. There's when you talk about the difference between this person and Turtle Boy, because people like to compare this guy to Turtle Boy, the difference is the difference is that Turtle Boy has shown evidence that these people have been lying. These people here weren't lying about anything. These people were just bystanders, but possible witnesses, maybe even suspects. Who knows?
Doing what I said when they asked me if I had seen my brother, like I said in the beginning, they didn't say, "Have you seen Brian?" It was, "What's the weirdest thing about this all?"
Your brother was here by himself and in her van and ran up $1,000 on her
These
credit
are
card.
things we're not allowed to answer.
Heard screams coming out of your parents' house, on multiple occasions.
Okay.
Screams.
See, now that is Brian Laundrie's sister, if I remember correctly. Brian Laundrie's sister. So now bullshit Betty is out here talking to them like they're suspects. Making things up, saying that people heard screams. There's nothing tangible behind anybody hearing any screams coming from the Laundrie's parents' house. Now, I think the Laundries are shady as fuck, personally. But what she's saying here is just plain not true. She's making things up.
Our kids, we lived there for.
I've already reached out through the FBI for them, so I don't have anything to say right now because the police is told us specifically not to talk to anybody or anything.
You got some drug addicts over here? We got somebody who likes to steal Xanax.
Now this is the Quentin Simon case. They're playing it outside of Leilani Simon, who is a suspect, and they've camped out in front of this woman's house. While there's an open investigation and while Chief Hadley, who is in charge of the investigation, was actually searching for an infant child who they believed, based on their investigations, to be deceased. And she was accusing Chief Hadley of not conducting an investigation and not doing anything to get justice for Quentin Simon. Now, while this is going on, Chief Hadley had deployed a search team to a landfill where they believed, based on their investigations, that Quentin Simon was taken by a garbage truck, because they believe that Leilani Simon had disposed of Quentin Simon's remains in this garbage can, or in the home's garbage can, and then it was picked up by the garbage. So Chief Hadley of the Chatham County Police Department in Savannah, Georgia, deployed a team in hazmat suits to sift through 2 million pounds of garbage. 2 million pounds of garbage to find decayed remains of an infant child. So while these poor people, while these investigators were doing probably the most unimaginable job that you can think of them doing. This woman was leading a bunch of idiots out there screaming and yelling outside of a suspect's home, trash talking the investigators for not doing anything.
Got over here, right? Well, Justin Cahoon, I thought he was a decent guy, right? But after today, he's a scumbag just like the rest of them.
Thank you for the $100 PayPal.
She likes to send naked pictures of people through the internet.
Bullhorn Betty lies to her subscribers.
Bullhorn Betty. Well, let me talk about Bullhorn Strangler Betty.
She made it her life.
You're fucked up. You like to strangle people.
Now, this lady's an
They
idiot.
talk about
This is the lady that came out. There's all kinds of drama with that bullshit that I don't even touch. But this lady came out to counter protest Bullhorn Betty and just, in my opinion, adding to the madness. Some people defend her. I think that she shouldn't have never been out there in the first place. And
this house is full of murderers, right? Well, let me
because
tell you.
I thought of going out and counter protesting these people from time to time. I thought about it, and then I always draw the conclusion that I was just going to add to the stupidity. So I opted against it.
That lady over there, I have a list of charges. It was 42. It's 43 now, okay? And she likes to strangle people. She likes to have domestic violence. She likes to assault the people she sleeps with, lives with, sits with, eats with. She don't give a fuck as long as she can strangle you. And guess what they were giving her? Super chats and money. She's a whore. Bullhorn Betty, Andrew Biffin, lives with Stafford and Son. A crackhead. I'm a crackhead. All crackheads over here. Except for these people over here, right? They don't know crackheads, right? No, Molly's so fucking high, even the cop said it. Where's she on? I said she steals Xanax. Lady African American's not here. She belongs to the Proud Boys. She's proud to belong with the Proud Boys.
And this is the second partygoer that has come forward to tell me their side of the story. Let's name the second partygoer Jane Doe number 2.
Like teach was slurring, but I also don't
Over
know
200
rules, so
people
I
were
don't
at the
know.
party, and this is the
And then you've got this Tyler Feller idiot.
Okay, so law enforcement.
I
has
never
confirmed
really
that this is-
reviewed him. I'm just going to skip.
Hockadale.
Now, here's your boy right here.
You want it darker? We kill the flame.
Rogersville, Hockadale, Someville, okay? Little Summerlandville, Little Summerlandville.
Prisoners and the guards who take an aim. I struggled with some demons. They were middle class and gay. I didn't know I had a purpose to murder and to maim. You want it darker?
Fake donations? Seems like they should get in trouble for that. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, I watched that a waste of time. Yeah, they really didn't let anything out. They didn't let anything out at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer this to subscriber only. And for those that are in here that just subscribed, I do apologize about that. But we are going to actually put this on for the last 24 hours. I'm sorry that I have to do that. But if you don't like that, then it's time for us to start telling the trolls that enough's enough. And,
Now,
really
as I understand it,
that
Bullhorn Betty here, she can't stream from her original channel because she violated terms of service, as I understand it.
Is going live from this vigil. I'm going to make sure somebody is going live from this vigil. So we will have somebody live. And you know what? I'm going to make sure that it happens even if I have to hand somebody my own phone.
So she's planning on live streaming for money for she's planning on live streaming a candlelight vigil for I believe a missing child who she has thrown insane accusations, unfounded accusations at the parents for being responsible for this child being missing. And a lot of people on the internet have been doing this, but there's absolutely no evidence to dictate whatsoever that Don or Candace Wells had anything to do with Summer Wells' disappearance.
Phone to run it live just because the haters, the disgusting haters will.
Magnified, sanctified be thy holy name. Vilified, crucified in the human frame. A million candles burn.
Now this is a vigil that they put together themselves when it's really just a party. So here they are. They got a cake with this missing child's name on it. And the idea was to counter the actual vigil put together by the community for this missing child, because they didn't support the community. So they painted the picture that people in this community had something to do with, them supporting the parents, because there's no evidence to indicate that the parents had anything to do with her disappearance. But the community is, based on this information, they're just treating the parents as if they're grieving. They're scared. They're worried about their missing child.
You want it darker? We kill the flame. If you are the dealer, let me out of the game. If you are the healer, I'm broken and lame. If thine is the glory, mine must be the shame. You want it darker?
You do what they're.
I'm ready.
Keep the bar guy baby killers. You guys know about Steven? He's in the garbage. How is it gonna be sponsored?
Holy Bubba Mall right now. I'm going total Bubba.
All the baby killers are joining the crowd. Smoking, drinking. You hated that boy so much. You hated him because of his father. You beat him. You beat that boy. Not a care in the world. Come capture these news organizations. What you guys are? What, you don't want the news? Is that why we got a problem here? No local news out here, nobody whatsoever. While a baby killer sitting in the front of her yard, playing, joking, laughing, and smoking cigarettes. Don't worry, bitch, I got you. I got you.
We got a super cat. Oh, they got that young kid out here, but this little right there. He gets a string of points. He's got a high voice. He gets a note to break a
It
window.
actually reminds me more of Nick Cave. It might even be Nick Cave, for all I
And the
know.
cops of Cheatham County. You know, funny. Oh, that's funny.
Pulled up Betty Hall ass.
Yeah.
So you're just basically here for money and
I'm not. I know.
But
at first, she was paying me to be here.
But police chief, by all means, I ain't trying to make your job any more difficult. But we know you can't walk and chew gum.
Talking about the chief of police, who
Back out here. He back up in the cut.
there's no suspicion of him doing anything wrong, and he actually got the evidence, and Leilani Simon is behind bars.
Uh-oh, people popping off now.
Now that's Dolly with a turtle mask.
Yeah, I'm back out here. He back up in the cut.
You like fucking with people say, oh, that's the
Oh shit, gotta get rid out here.
Now, when Turtle Boy does anything that even remotely resembles this, he leads people, state what he has to state. It's a matter of minutes, and then he's gone and everyone else is gone. But these people camped out all night. And here they are in the late hours, yelling and screaming and playing loud music, disturbing everyone's neighbors.
That's right.
You open that mouth to put a dick in it real quick. You won't open it to tell how you killed your baby, will you? Where's the baby? Where's it? Say it, Dad!
The only suspect that I believe baby person is dead.
Yep, see, they're shouting it from the car.
They're shouting it from the car. Baby killer. How many?
Yeah! Fuck you, cunt! Fuck you!
That's a neighbor.
Yeah.
That's a neighbor.
Where's the baby? He's gonna get stuck. That piece of man was get the fuck out of here. How much money did you get on that tip, That's that pizza I told y'all about.
What a fucking witch. Fucking witch.
He has a baby crying. He has a baby crying. He wants his grandma to kill him. He wants his grandma to help him. Save him, baby. Ow. 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 If that doesn't burn a hole through your soul, you are Satan.
Now here they're at the job site.
Spoke to Maria.
Now this is Bullhorn Betty speaking to the father of a missing child, whose character is questionable, fair in all fairness, but there's nothing to indicate at all whatsoever, as far as proof wise, that he had anything to do with the disappearance of his daughter. A lot of parents are questionable, but that doesn't mean that they're killers. We don't know what happened to Summer Wells. We have no suspicion of foul play. There's absolutely nothing. She's just gone. There's no evidence, nothing.
Marissa, she said she had an opportunity to speak with you last night, and this is Andra, aka Bullhorn Betty, and I just saw an article that you guys are blaming the crew for coming up and banging on doors and windows, and as you know, the only person that did that was Marissa. So if you filed a report, a criminal allegation stating under penalty of perjury that Olivia, Jonathan, and myself also did that, you just filed a false report, a false police report.
Isn't it? You're talking about the F-150?
Okay, now.
Oh, I see it.
This is Bullhorn Betty, Chronicles of Olivia, Jonathan Lee Riches, all featured in this so-called documentary. All featured. And this is them outside of the job site of the parents of Summer Wells.
Come on, let's get. All right, thank you. Thank you, Dudley. Go. All right, thank you.
And they paid an ex-coworker, as Chronicles is saying here. Chronicles of the Shady.
Stalking somebody on their job and rolling up. Don, where's your daughter? Why are you hiding from us? Summer, where's Summer, Don?
So here's these people trying to earn a living, and these people showed up for content to harass and get these people fired from their job.
Face us. Come out and face us.
No evidence, nothing to indicate that they had anything to do with the disappearance of their daughter.
Get out of there! Get out of my fucking face! Look out there! Get out of mine! Come on!
Come on, Candace. Come out here and talk to us about your daughter. What'd you do with her? What did you do with your daughter? This is public property.
I know you have that First Amendment right, but you can be considered.
Then fire him from the job. Fire him from the job. You don't need a baby. He buried his baby somewhere, and we want to know where she's at. Where's your baby?
Nothing to indicate that that's what happened. No evidence, nothing.
We're on public property.
Right there in the window.
We're on public property right now.
Hold on. Come on. Did you call him? Hold on. Did you call him? We're gonna follow you. We're gonna wait here all day.
We know where you're at now.
Come out. Don't threaten me, please. Just don't threaten me.
We're on public property.
No. Listen.
What'd you do with your daughter? Where'd you bury her? Where'd you bury her, Don? Oh, police. Police. Do you even know what happened?
Yeah, we know.
I've known Wales for years.
Yeah. So,
He settled me. Wales is not.
why are you kidding me? You realize that the baby drowned at that watering hole. They did something to her.
No evidence of that either.
Yes, we do.
No evidence of that.
Go watch my channel.
Go watch my channel.
I can't believe you believe this shit.
All right. Now, I think you've seen enough of that. I have one more thing to show you. Now let's get back to Karen Reed, John O'Keefe. Okay. Now I saw a Court TV feature today that as soon as, man, I'm telling you, as soon as I saw Vinny starting to come around, which made me feel like Court TV was starting to come around, because people with educations now have questions. That is refreshing to me. It's extremely refreshing to me. And then this happens, and I'm just like,
Welcome back to Opening Statements. There was a shocking new development in the murder case involving defendant Karen Reed. This is a case that has rocked a sleepy suburb near Boston.
There is not an angry bone in anyone's body here. In terms of the town I'm from, this case has divided the town. It has divided the town significantly. Every family is impacted. Every family. And there's ways I can't even tell you. My own family's impacted, okay? So you have families and friends that have been friends for many, many years. And this case has divided them.
Yeah, it sure has. The victim in this case is police officer John O'Keefe, a Boston police officer who was dating Karen Reed. And the relationship at the time of his death was very strained. Now, on Wednesday, state police seized 2 phones belonging to Karen Reed. And this is in connection to an ongoing investigation into witness intimidation. Now, this probe is being conducted by a special prosecutor who was referred to this case by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. The DA there, Michael Morrissey, we've seen him front and center at this prosecution of Karen Reed for the death of John O'Keefe. And we've also heard a lot about that blogger, Aidan Kearney, better known as Turtle Boy. This is him. He's come on Court TV. He's a huge supporter of Reed's defense team. And he was indicted.
But, you know, the cases aren't connected. According to Bitch Tim, the cases aren't connected. Okay.
You know, this is part of this investigation that's running parallel by the special prosecutor, indicted in December for witness intimidation. Prosecutors are alleging that Turtle Boy bullied a witness who was set to testify in front of a grand jury. Now, these phones are reportedly not connected to the murder case, so understand that. They're not part of the homicide case involving victim John O'Keefe, that police officer who lost his life. But we're wondering, how might the seizure of these phones affect the trial that's coming up in that case? I mean, we are weeks away from this trial. Let's bring in our guests. I have a tremendous power panel. My goodness, look who's joining us this morning. Attorney and law professor Dante Mills is with us. Criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Michael J. Brown with us as well. And the state attorney in Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Ehrenberg. Wonderful to see you all this morning. Oh boy, how is this going to affect the trial coming up? Dante Mills, may I start with you, please, Professor?
Yes, good morning, Julie. You know, I love talking about controlling the narrative. I think the defense team has done a fantastic job in this situation. I think what you're looking at is really when politicians, for example, run for office, a lot of them don't want the attack ads to come directly from their campaign. So what they'll do is they'll have super PACs run the attack ad, but of course it's in coordination. I think it's the same thing here. The defense team didn't want to be out front with the bullhorn, but they found somebody who was willing to do it, who believed in the cause, so they coordinated with them. I do believe Karen Reed was having conversations. What the fuck? With him, that has to be the probe and why they took the phones to see what the communication was. But she was probably putting a battery in Turtle Boy's back. I'm saying yes.
So here's this guy jumping to the conclusion, whoever the fuck this idiot is, jumping to the conclusion and making this allegation, because make no mistake, it is absolutely an allegation. It is absolutely an accusation, what he just said, that Turtle Boy, just because Karen Reed's phones were seized by an idiot like Ken Mello, who we've gone over and proved over and over again that Ken Mello is the worst fucking prosecutor on the planet and an absolute foot soldier for what we believe to be a corrupt district attorney, and what seems to be what the federal Department of Justice believes is a corrupt district attorney. And he's jumping to the conclusion now and stating on a show like Court TV that Turtle Boy was paid, and all of the people out there were paid. All of you guys, this is what pisses me off. You guys that are locals that have stood out there with signs and with t-shirts and exercising your First Amendment rights, they're stating and minimizing your belief in the justice system and wanting to make it better, wanting to improve it. They are accusing you of being on the payroll of Karen Reed's defense. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate it. I called to Dolly. He hung up on me. Thank you.
Yes, this is absolutely true. And if you want to talk about it, feel free. You have my authority or my blessing to do so. But I think it works very well for the prosecution and gives people something to talk about, which will cause doubt.
He's saying, fucking quote me on that shit. I'm saying it. He's saying that shit bold as fuck with his full chest.
Willing to do it, who believed in the cause, so they coordinated with them. I do believe Karen Reed was having conversations with him. That has to be the probe and why they took the phones to see what the communication was. But she was probably putting a battery.
Just assuming that Ken Mello is somehow a credible prosecutor. Somehow he's just assuming that Ken Mello had good reason to seize Karen Reed's phones, that he had some proof, even though at no point during this sanction, this court hearing that we went over last time I was live, at no point did Ken Mello even bring up the suspicion that Turtle Boy and Karen Reed were colluding. Even though he's the one who had Karen Reed's phones seized.
And Turtle Boy's back. I'm saying, yes, this is absolutely true. And if you want to talk about it, feel free. You have my authority or my blessing to do so. But I think it works very well for the prosecution and gives people something to talk about, which will cause doubt in her murder case and is worth the risk.
Dante, I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you for all of that. Michael J. Brown, to you next, please. How might this affect the trial?
Good morning, Julie. The concern I have from a defense standpoint is, when the prosecution goes forward and now makes these claims or allegations that she may be involved in some witness tampering or intimidation, if she chooses to take the stand, the judge may have to make a ruling of whether or not the prosecution can inquire about that. And that's a really damaging and damning piece of evidence if it gets out before the jury that she, in fact, in some way tried to prevent certain witnesses from
every one of these people, this so-called great panel, every one of them are talking under the assumption that it was Lolly who had Karen's phone seized, not Ken Mello. Or they're operating under the assumption that Ken Mello is somehow the prosecutor in Karen Reed's trial, or in Karen Reed's that Ken Mello is the prosecutor assigned to prosecute Karen Reed. So, I mean, none of these people know what they're talking about. None of them.
Testifying truthfully against her. It's just a bad look for the defense, and it could be very damaging.
Yeah, I appreciate that. A great point as well. Last but certainly not least, Dave Ehrenberg, want to get your take on all this, please.
Well, I agree with everything that's been said already, Julie. I think the power for prosecutors of a witness intimidation claim is that it's twofold. First, it's its own crime, but also it shows consciousness of guilt. Of course, why would you try to intimidate witnesses unless you knew you were guilty? What do you have to hide? So it's powerful in front of the jury if that can get out. And that's why the seizure of the phones could be important evidence, no matter what the blogger says outside the courthouse.
Right. No.
The power
defense, and it could be very damaging.
Yeah, I appreciate that. A great point as well. Last but certainly not least, Dave Ehrenberg, want to get your take on all this, please.
Well, I agree with everything that's been said already, Julie. I think the power for prosecutors of a witness intimidation claim is that it's twofold. First, it's its own crime, but also it shows consciousness of guilt. Of course, why would you try to intimidate witnesses unless you knew you were guilty? What do you have to hide? So it's powerful in front of the...
Well, we all know that, but you're now accusing Karen Reed of coordinating with Turtle Boy and every other person who has exercised their First Amendment right as a concerned citizen. You minimized everything that Rita had just said at the beginning of this and basically accused Rita and everyone else who stand out there with signs, who see that there's something wrong. You're accusing them of colluding with Karen Reed and being under her payroll for witness intimidation. But there's nothing dangerous about that, right?
Front of the jury if that can get out. And that's why the seizure of the phones could be important evidence, no matter what the blogger says outside the courthouse.
Right. No,
but
appreciate
the seizure of the phones happened by Ken Mello.
Dave. Okay, so thinking about this, something that really hit me. I mean, it's always been in my mind that, okay, with these two narratives, somebody's lying here, but somebody's lying big, right? With this big development, as we're drawing closer and closer to the trial date, we're thinking about these seized phones. And then, of course, there's the question, is Karen Reed part of these protests? Is this a paid mob? That is a fair question. They're looking at her phones. Did she have anything to do with paying anybody to do this or to do any witness intimidation? And our court TV cameras, we've been with paying anybody that is a fair question. They're looking.
Now look it. So here they are trying to claim that all of these signs are the same. Watch, you'll see. They say that all these signs are the same. Printed by the same person. They actually say this. Watch. It's fascinating.
Looking at her phones, did she have anything to do with paying anybody to do this or to do any witness intimidation? And our court TV cameras, we've been there for
look.
Paying anybody to do this or to do any.
The only thing that's consistent is people who used common stencils to make their signs. Stencil, there's a standard stencil that you buy at, fucking the dollar store.
Any witness intimidation. And our court TV cameras, we've been there for all these hearings. We see the protests. It's really crazy. Look at this truck with the sign. How much did that cost to put that on the truck? And this is.
These people, they put money together. Out of their own pockets, they put money together for these things. And for all you know, the owner of that truck is a Karen Reed supporter and decided to do that. How much money did that cost? Maybe it didn't cost a fucking dime.
This has caused lots of contention between Canton residents and law enforcement officials. And so either the police are really engaged in this grand cover-up. And this is grand, or
you hear the condescending there?
There's lots of contention between Canton residents and law enforcement officials. And so either the police are really engaged in this grand cover-up. This is grand cover-up. Or is she behind these protests? Let's talk about these things. Let's go around the horn, but we're going to do it in reverse order this time. Dave Ehrenberg, start us off. Do you think somebody's lying here really badly?
Sure looks like it. If you can get the video of those signs of the protesters out there, there's something interesting about those signs. They all look like they're made by the same person. This doesn't look like some spontaneous outbreak of a concerned citizen. Look at those signs. Look at the fonts. Look at the print.
Dude, that's standard fucking stenciling, dude. You could buy those stencils fucking anywhere. What are you talking about?
It looks like they're made by the same company, the printer, the person, and
the same company. Dude, does that fucking shit right there look like it was made by a company? Does that look like it was made by a company? Does that look like it was made by a company? You idiot.
The people out there, I wonder if they've been paid. I wonder if they're part of an organized group. This is what happens.
You know how fucking insulting that shit? I'm not even there. You know how much that pisses me off? Like, every time that I've sat there and I've streamed Tom and his footage, this guy out there driving out there and exercising his First Amendment right. Tom and his girlfriend, they made these signs, gave people signs. Are you accusing Tom CPU of being under Karen Reed's payroll? I just don't see it. Tom goes out there and he has an American flag that he has people sign because he believes in exercising his First Amendment right. He loves the sense of community. The whole time he's in awe. The whole time Tom is in awe of the community coming together for something that they believe with all of their hearts is the right thing. And these people sit up there with their fucking diplomas and minimize that shit. With their fucking bullshit titles, minimizing what these people are doing without doing any research. Accusing them of being under Karen Reed's payroll and deliberately intimidating witnesses.
Happens when you have a defendant with means or with support in the community, you can get this PR war. It's been already said, they control the narrative. And because prosecutors are elected in their communities, defendants think they can intimidate prosecutors by a show of political force, by a show of protest. But in the end, we just follow the evidence and are supposed to do justice regardless of what the polls say.
You follow the evidence? Well, did you follow the evidence before you fucking made the accusation that these people were under Karen Reed's payroll, under her employ? Did you follow the evidence to come to that conclusion? Because if you did, you would have seen that these people actually stream these things. You're accusing Nick or Chris. You're accusing what's his name? Cristoforo. I know that's his last name. You're accusing him of colluding with Karen Reed and being under her employ to go out there and do that? Of organizing these things? Paul Cristoforo, thank you guys.
That's the truth, Dave. You are right. And I would love to hear, all of your answers on this. How, throughout all your years of experience, all of you trying cases, at criminal courthouses, have you ever seen a mob like this? I mean, there's so many court dates. It's hard to get victims to show up. I remember being a prosecutor, it's hard to get your witnesses all together, and yet you got these people taking off work to be there. I mean, it definitely raises questions. Dante Mills, I see with a big smile there. Let me go to you next, please.
You see the implication there? Taking off work. Taking off work to be there. It's not that they're taking off work because they believe in something and they believe that there's something seriously wrong within their community. Not that. But they must have taken off of work because they can afford to take off of work because it's another job. They're making money off of it somehow.
Please.
Yes, I agree 100%. I do think that there's a part of this that's put together, but I think it's the right thing to do for her defense team. Again, I have to keep going back to control the narrative. They're doing a fantastic job. As we heard in the clip, the woman talking about this case is impacting every single person in that county. When has that ever happened? But it is. And I know that we keep talking about the charge of witness intimidation, but
I love that. This guy doesn't even know who the fuck Rita is because Rita's out there representing every single person, and not because she put this title on herself. It's because she's earned the respect of that entire community. Everybody who these people are accusing of being under Karen Reed's payroll to be out there all look up to Rita. All of them respect Rita. And rightfully so. So this dickhead is sitting here going, oh, like she said, but yeah, like she said. There's something seriously wrong in that community, and Rita's speaking up on it. And all of those people who live there locally respect her for it. I respect her for it.
But that's just an allegation. I'm sure Turtle Boy is saying, I never intimidated a witness. I just was convincing them to tell the truth. I'm impassioned about this case, and I was reaching out to people and encouraging them to tell the truth. And I think that this is working for the defense. The prosecution is behind the 8 ball going into a case where they have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, where people in the community already think that something nefarious is going on and some cover up may be happening.
Appreciate it, Dante. Yeah, I'm sure when her
For-
attorneys get a
with
chance
good
to speak,
reason.
perhaps today about it, we've been reaching out to them after the news broke last night. Surely they're going to say, well, this is a continuation of the narrative we've already put out there that, you know, she is a victim of this cover up and now this is to intimidate her by taking her phones. Or is it? Or is there something nefarious going on with her? Who knows? Michael J. Brown, take us home. Your final thoughts on this, please.
Let me just take the opposition to our our state's attorney, which is normally the prosecutor does a perp walk. They have press conferences at the arrest. They have numerous members of law enforcement standing behind them. So they take the control of the press and paint a certain narrative. Here you have a divided town. You have somebody who's presumed innocent, people who are passionate about her innocence, and they're simply going out there and showing their support. I have no problem with it. I think it's part of our system.
This is the fucking first thing that anybody on that panel said anything that was even remotely fucking respectable.
It really counters the strength of the prosecution in our country.
Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You all made tremendous points, and we'll see what comes out of those phones. I guess we're going to have our answer pretty soon. If she's behind the mobs, if she's behind any witness intimidation, or if she really is a victim, as her defense team says. We got to leave it there.
Unreal. All right, guys. A big thanks to B Tim for joining me today and showing his true colors of the fucking dumbass that he is. Just another fucking moron who is fixated on a narrative despite the evidence that was put right in front of his goddamn face. Despite the evidence that was shown, was just sticking to his guns and then had a hissy fit and cried and left saying, I want an apology. Fuck your mother. How's that for an apology? So, anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Bitch Tim, thanks for coming up and showing exactly who you are, which is exactly what I expected you to do, and you did exactly what I expected you to do. Thank you for proving me right. Anyways, guys, you guys are fucking fantastic. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all your subscriptions. I appreciate all of your likes. Please make sure to like this video. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of your support. It means the entire world to me. It really does. All of you guys just being here means everything to me. You guys are fantastic. Exactly. Exactly, BMW lady. Guys, you are fantastic. Thank you for indulging me in this display of pure fucking stupidity that this turned out to be. You guys are amazing. I love you, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.